Oh, that will have popped. Sorry. I didn't turn off the thing before I plugged it in. It's going to be a thud. There's going to be a bit of a thud. How we doing? I have a big headache today. I'm going to hydrate. Hydration is important. During the intro today, we have to fix my washing machine. The wheels keep falling off. The front fell off. So I'm pretty confident that the temperature of the sanitary cycle, which would be the most punishing cycle, will hold up to PETG, but these little pins, these little plastic pins keep falling out. They keep falling out, so we got to design one. Not a hard task. Not a hard task with a 3D printer. So we'll just start a new file here, and this one is going to go in the admin project. I got to organize these folders. I need a more universal parts kind of like bin folder that has all the stuff in it. Because each individual project, they're not products, I don't sell anything. Each individual project has its own like cabal of parts that I use, and I need to go in and find it. Let me misc small stuff. Save this as President washing pin. So we start with a sketch on the base plate, basically the base plate of the 3D printer, and get this out of here, and I can get my calipers and just start measuring. So our outer ring is 15 millimeter. It says 14.9. I don't trust it. I'm gonna make that a 15. Bop. That's a bop. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. And then we've got the pin body, which has little posts that stick out of it that I'm definitely not going to be modeling on this thing. All this pin does is, do I have start stint up? I don't even have that up. Okay, yeah, there we go. All this pin does is hold the wheel in, and it's not supposed to spin. So if I can make that do like a grip fit, it seems like the part that wore was this inside piece where it's supposed to kind of lock in. I could make a two-piece. I could have another piece come in from behind and lock it in, or I could make this press fit in there. I think I'll just make it press fit. And we'll just put a little lip on the top of it, and it'll kind of click into place. So let's take the diameter with the pins in mind, so it's a bit of a press fit. So I'm going to take it at 7.5. We'll do 7.5. The way that I'm going to print it is it's going to be weak along this axis, which is not good, but 7.5. And then we need the pokey bit. We need the part that's going to stick out a little bit. So we'll do, I think 0.5 millimeter might be pushing it for my printer's abilities. I'll try it. We'll see what it looks like. Finish that. So I'm going to extrude the base of the pin. See, I fixed this with actual hardware, like lock nuts and bolts and stuff, but I'm not sure if those are going to rust. They should be stainless steel, but they might be cheap stainless steel. The cheap sort of stainless steel that you get with miscellaneous parts. So let's measure that. 2.3. I'll humor them and make it, no, I'm going to make it 3 because it doesn't matter, this height. It might stick out and be a little awkward. So then we extrude the middle part and we start at the body. This has been the method that I've been using to make stuff, is just make it like in terms of like 3D printing. And it's worked out for me so far. I haven't killed too many people. I like this album. This is a OTT, and the album is Mir, M-I-R. Mir. 9.6. I'm going to take that at face value. I'm going to take 9.6 at face value because this thing has to snap into hardware that I don't have, you know, that I can't control. So 9.6. And then the top piece, it's up to us what the diameter of that is. Oops. You and you. And we're going to extrude it. I think I'm going to keep the center solid. Started object here, and we're going to go maybe 1 full millimeter. That's pretty good. That's a warp pipe. I'm going to expand that a little bit. I want that to come out in the print. But then again, I also want it to snap in. So if I split it down the middle and made this hollow and split it down the middle, then I could have it flex a little bit when I put it in there. Maybe we need to do that. I think we do. I think I need a little bit of flex in there. So let's go back to the sketch. Back to the sketch. And let's put a center rectangle. And we'll eyeball it. 2 millimeter. 2's a little thin. We'll do 3 millimeter like that. And then I need a hole in this thing. So we're going to do... We'll do an inset thing like this. And I'll take it 1 millimeter, so -1. That'll be kind of thick, but I mean, I don't want it to blow up. So extrude this from object here, and we're going to go, yeah, -10 will do. Just hollow it out and extrude. I'll take it a little wide. Excuse you. What did it? Just selected everything. This. From object, the top, and do -4. That's a pretty substantial cut, isn't it? Maybe I want a little bit more material than that. -5, and we'll round off the bottom, just like in the RC car. Take these and taper them up a little bit. That'll add a little tiny bit of strength. We're kind of relying on this to flex a little bit, but in this direction, the ridges are not going to really allow it much. All right, that's our washing machine pin. I'm gonna, should I make that a little less thick? Two. What's this thickness? This is like 1, right? Oh, it's 2.2. Yeah, let's do 2.5. See, this is why I designed this way, is you can go back into the steps and sort of tweak. How has everybody's day been? We have been inundated with snow. All right, that's our part. Let's rename the body. Washing pin. Set. Save as mesh. To the desktop. Save that. Don't touch any of the settings, because the base settings in Fusion are actually pretty good. Wow, nobody's around. You start late and everybody's scarpered. Well, to the 15 of you actually watching. Oh no, I've got a YouTube view. That's amazing. Oh, I need to pull up YouTube chat. Hold on, I forgot to do that. Over here, and then I hit reload. There he is. Look, he's making something weird. And then we pop out. And I close that window. And now we have YouTube chat on social stream. We made it. We did it. I don't know how we got here, but we made it. Okay, let's get OTT, move them over there. And then we got that chat there. And then we have our, I have to open, or at least just look at the Twitch chat pop out. What's that one? Gear dimension calculator. Boy, do I not want to look at those ever again. We got the gears right. We didn't have to, but we got them right. Streamlabs is, of course, frozen. Twitch is over there. Pop out Twitch is right here. There we go. 21 hours ago. Okay, I don't have to. It's so cool that Code Rush is still rating me. I haven't done anything for him. I didn't even get him a birthday present. Okay, let's give this a shot. Actually, I kind of want that cut to be thinner. I want that to be like 2. A lot of 2s in this design. Why did it get smaller? No, don't do that. Get all the way out there. There we go. Yeah, what that did is that ruined the subsequent step. Why did that go less far down? What the heck? Why is that messed up? Oh, it's because the chamfer is too big. It should be Okay, oops. Oh, I hit escape by accident. I had to switch back to the tiny keyboard because I spilled something on the good keyboard that I was using here. So I gotta look at that and see if I don't want to put like quick mechanical keyboard on it. QMKing again is going to be such an effort though, because I did so much for that wiring. That wiring was not easy. Okay, save that. Export the solid. And then we'll print out a test. I think like 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I need 8 of these, but I shouldn't print all 8 at once. We'll do a test print first and see what I think. So I need Super Slicer, which is somewhere on here. Super Slicer, there you are. Oh my god, I need to clean this desktop. All kinds of hedonistic shit going on the desktop here. Here we go. Super Slicer, bring that over. Open her up. Temp prints I know is on the other monitor where I have my OBS screen. I think. What the hell is that? There's the calculator. The calculator of shame. The Windows calculator of shame. I think it's actually on this desktop all the way to the right. Oh my god. There's the Mutable Instruments dev environment just sitting there. What is that doing over there? I really want to get back to the synthesizer stuff, but I'm spread too thin. I'm spread way too thin lately in terms of projects. And one of my good friends is barking down my freaking door to try to get me to go out tonight, even though there's 3 inches of snow and most of Pennsylvania is like freaking out about it. All right, let's go to the desktop here, and that way I can actually see what's on 3 desktops. Opening the desktop as a folder is very, very useful these days. Temp prints. So the washing pin, put that on there. I'm going to print 2 of them. Add instance, put that over there. Slice, turn on printer. I gotta restart the Raspberry Pi, I think. So let me do that real quick. Oh, where's the browser that we're using? There it is. Octoprint. Octopi local. Hello? I think I need to log in. Oh, no, I don't. I don't know why I made the printer so secure. Proceed to reboot. I'm rebooting because Octoprint doesn't like, or Clipper doesn't like it when the base Raspberry Pi stays on while the microcontroller turns off. It's like a 32-bit printer board too. I do not need that much computing power in the printer. It's kind of wild. All right, minimize that window. I have a lot of windows going on right now. It's a harrowing time. All right, well, we'll see how much we can replicate this pin, get a good print, and hold the wheels on my washing machine. But yeah, there you go, little intro project. Because yeah, no weight is going to sit on the 3D print. There's an axle that goes in to the wheel. There's already an axle made out of the same whatever thermoplastic I guess they used, and so I just need to make a new pin that's going to hold on to that wheel if when you pull the basket in and out, it gets wrenched on something. So PETG will be pretty strong for this. I did not give it a lot of thickness, though it is thicker than this plastic, but the structure of this pin is that it's going to be weakest in this direction, because that's where the ridges are. Can't really help it, though. I'm not going to print something like this sideways. So it's this or bust, and I think the PETG is going to hold up to the washing machine temperatures. I don't know what this one's made out of. We can see. CA? CAV? Or is it PP? They wrote PP on all their wheels. That's great. Hey, what kind of plastic do you want to use? I want PP. Unless CAV number 16, but I think PP is that the type of plastic? Let's see how Google handles me typing PP into it. It actually kind of took it pretty well. What plastic is my PP? Polypropylene. Ah, that's right. Okay, so polypropylene is what the thing is made out of. Not a lot of customers here on Friday, huh? What do we got going on Twitch? YouTube is not worth the example because it's there's like one person on YouTube. I'm glad you're here, but oh yeah, 20 people. Okay, it's gonna be a quiet day. It's gonna be a quiet day today, which is totally fine. So polypropylene thermoplastic polymer. Okay, I got it. New shirt, by the way. Nobody notices. Nobody ever notices. I got a DM from somebody asking if I was a Twitch streamer. There's a check mark next to my name. I've never streamed on Twitch, if you have to ask. Hi, it's me. This is my first day on Twitch. I'm so glad that bearing was completely editable. So now I have an example bearing that I'm able to pull up, and we go through the steps in order to make it into what I want. Okay, Octoprint should be done rebooting. Let's open that up. It's nice to have. Wait, this is a different Octoprint window. Where the other Octoprint? I have too many windows open. I have too many windows open. I'm losing track. I'm losing my mind. Or was that the window? Was that the only one that I opened? That might be. Everything is done in Chrome for this stream, and it's probably destroying my memory, but you know, it's there and I'm using it. So Clipper standby. I hit connect and I should get FEC whatever 7 triple D, and then I test BL touch. Click, 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 click. Okay. I guess reset in order to stop the test, and now we're ready to go. So now I go to Super Slicer and I hit print. Send the G code over. And print me 2 of these little pins, and I can test them out. And then we can print 500 of them. Have a good poop. No, those are old messages. Look at the timestamp. It's 12:46. And you can see I'm right here. I'm streaming. Hello? Hello? I'm pretty sure I'm streaming. All right, let's see here. Printer started. All things in order. That's heating up. Let's watch it heat up. Gotta get this stuff out of the way. Oh, careful. That CPAP thing that we designed is a little bit fragile. I think I need to bump it up a little bit. I got these long tweezers. I've been needing long tweezers for quite a long time, actually. And I can finally now get in there and clean the nozzle off for those little boogers. The little boogers. The little boogers that my printer has. That it generates little boogers. Should turn this light around too. This is just an intro project. I'm fixing the washing machine, as you do when you have a thing like a 3D printer. 3D printer is still under project. It's still being projected. That's almost too much light. I do have spares of these lights, and I should keep one by the printer because I need this light so that you guys are able to see what the hell's going on. At least until Burn the Subs is back up, and then I'll use that area for hair on the bed. I'll use that area for, of course, filming Burn the Subs. This thing is displaced. I need to redesign these. I need to. So much to do. Not enough oh bother to do it. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure from all the varying projects that I've taken under my wing, and I need a break. I'm gonna go to a friend's house tonight for some spaghetti. Hey, you want to go to Rocco's for spaghetti? Hell yeah, I do. Of course, it is a snowstorm outside, an unprecedented winter snowstorm. Can you believe it? It's got about 3 inches extra snow is falling on us right now. And my friend has essentially the modern equivalent of a Toyota Hilux. So we will be easily bounding through the snow in service of eating spaghetti. There we go. So that is measuring in order to tilt the axis. But the axis doesn't really take to tilting all that much because it's got 2 fasteners in each side. I probably should do 1 fastener in each side, and then it would be able to tilt. That's the one problem with the Creality CR10S, the printer that you see right here. The CR10S has a little bit of trouble with the tilt of this axis because it has plates on each side. Of course, I've 3D printed new plates, but it has plates on either side, and those plates have dual fasteners in each one because they wanted it to be rigid and strong. The problem is that dual fastener rigidity keeps you from being able to tilt the axis, and so it remains sprung into a tilted position. I did not solve this problem either, though. I think I used countersunk fasteners too, which will also not allow for the thing to tilt at all, which is a problem. Which one is the brightness on this one? Intensity, there it is. All right, we're doing good, we're doing good. Quiet Friday, we're gonna do a little bit more prep on the RC car. I'm going to attempt to get to generative design. In order to do generative design, we need to tell the... I'm dead. We need to tell the software what to preserve, what structures are required. Then we need to tell it what forces are on the structures required. And then, at least in the sense that of what we're designing, we need to give it a bounding box. I want it to look like an RC car still. So it's going to have to make a structure that takes up a certain amount of space. And we need to design how the things are going to attach in that space. We need to think about building it as well. I haven't even started to think about the electronics, but the things we still need to do on the 3D model, let me pull it up real quick. I need to put suspension linkages in the back. And then I need to, hold on, let me close. I'm going to close the big model in deference with the amount of memory that my computer has. The streaming computer is a little bit less capable than the Super Duper. So I need to put the rear linkages in, the ones that keep my toe-in check in the rear. And then we need to put bounding boxes around. Well, we need to design something that's going to clip in and hold the transmission, hold the differentials, hold the motor. Am I going to get that bearing in? Yeah, I'll have to make a motor plate. I guess I could do something around the battery. And the servo is going to need the ability to remove and insert it. Oh boy, and then the rear bearing for the drive shaft, and the drive shaft will need a little bounding box. How am I gonna get the drive shaft in? I'm gonna have to have like a hole in the back. I guess while we're sitting here, apparently doing ball joints is like impossible. I was talking to Short Lurker last night, and he was talking about how you need to have separate parts in order to define how the ball bearings work. So that's going to be kind of a struggle. How long is this print going to take? Hold on, where's the Octoprint? Where are these windows? I'm going to spend all day looking for windows. Let's see here. Oh God, it's already 50% done. It's going to take 16 minutes. Approximately. So it thinks we have 7 minutes left on this thing. I believe it. I have tuned this printer personally to be as fast as humanly possible, well, robotically possible. Yes, this here is the pinnacle of modern technology, the 3D printer. Additive manufacturing. Now that we're on layer 2, I believe that this thing will not fail. That top pin layer, the one that's going to lock in, is going to be a little bit weird because the ridge is totally unsupported, but it's a very minor ridge, so hopefully it stays in. Maybe I should make that into a ramp. That would actually make sense. If I extended it upwards and made it more of a ramp, then the print would probably not quite like that, but it would still hold in better than what was originally there, but it doesn't need to hold in super duper strong. We'll try these out. Is that the end of the album? No, not even. How's Friday shaping up for everybody else? We are snowed in. I am locked in. I need to move the fan. I'm going to move the fan. I'm going to move the fan. Move the fan to get comfortable. I need flowing air on me, otherwise I start sweating. I guess the dog has had fun running around in the snow. Posted a video of that yesterday. Let's open that a little bit to get some good air. Woo, nice and cool. You can probably see it cooling down on thermals. Well, thermals aren't quite pointed at the window. Whew. Ah, it's nice. Good air, good air. I like the snow. I enjoy a good snow. What was that? Just heard something skitter about. Okay. Over there. There we go. Ah! It's warming up. Happy about high of negative 13C. Damn. What's that in freedom units? Hold on. Eight degrees. That's warm, huh? That was our, I think that was our low over the past couple days. We got pretty chilly. That's like actually painful. Oh God. That's not a high, that's a low. Your big negative number is low. Wait, that was your maximum temperature, so it got well below that? I know the picture has done its rounds of the what do you call it? The propane that was in its solid form in a wine glass because it was so cold out. Oh wait, I need my mic cable, hold on. I'm gonna rearrange stuff back here. My collection of Star Trek ornaments is right here. Some of them are worth quite a bit. That won't fit in. Cool, cool. That's nice. Shove this back wherever it fits. I'll move these out of the way. These all have LEDs in them. I would like to make a hanging lighting thing out of these. These are acrylic in a little extrusion. And if I hang those from the ceiling from a basket, like a wire cage, I can make a really cool, you know, cyberpunk looking, I don't know, chandelier, I guess? Dog's barking at snowplows. She's like, 9 on my watch. Ain't nobody gonna plow here. I want to finish the synthesizer. It's never gonna be done. It's one of those projects that's never gonna be done. But I want to get it to the point where I've got multiple working modules and I can really sink into figuring out how to make cool sounds. That means going over the Bic and Tick filter really, really well. And the 4046 VCO needs a little attention. Dave's module, we need to reverse engineer some of the other covered chips that we don't know what they are. And then we can, I suppose, try to fix it. I don't think Dave has any time frame in mind. I think he's pretty cool with the fact that I'm giving it attention at all, but it's vexing me. I am very annoyed. The minimum is negative 37. Fuck, man. You really got a plan to go outside in that. You gotta make a plan. I was in my super duper winter coat sweating while shoveling, but like, man, in negative 37, if you start sweating, you're in like deathly danger. Can't imagine that. The parts are taking form in the 3D printer. Then we can compare them to the other part and see if I want to do any revisions. Because this intro is a project. I snuck one on you. I snuck it in. Feel the wrath of my sneaky, sneaky project. Yeah, you gotta have like, oh man. I would definitely buy the sweatshirt that you can put batteries in. The like DeWalt sweatshirt or whatever. Day temperature went from negative 10C to plus 6C and back in the span of 1.5 days. All people with heart problems are wishing weather a very merry fuck off right now. That's what down south, what's going on in the States, or at least reports from Dewey are that the temperature is just swinging back and forth, which is a little bit wild. That's kind of what Pennsylvania used to be like. We had more thaw and freeze cycles than anywhere else in America, and that causes our roads to be really bad, really bad when you're expanding ice on the asphalt and then thawing it again. It's like a little pick that makes potholes. Then the plows go over it, and we had a plow go around this morning, and they were I'm like near a little traffic circle, which is why I've been stressing RC cars, because RC cars are awesome for little traffic circles where not a lot of cars go by. And so the plow is going around, and he just starts practically drifting around the traffic circle. He was almost at drifting speeds. It was fast. Like, people don't drive that fast around here. And then the plow absolutely annihilates one of the curbs because there was a driveway there. It's just bong, and then kept going. Craziness. I gave him a thumbs up. I was like, cool, man. Thank you for keeping our roads good. We're doing the little clip part. My concern is that because I've put a cut in this on the weakest axis, that when I try to put them in to the washing machine, they will break off. The other part is that when it gets a bunch of heat cycles, it might break off. The dogs had a ton of fun playing in the snow. I got like 30 pictures of them. Our neighbors have corgis, and so on the Discord, if you check it out, you will see the neighbors' corgis playing with Willow. It took them a while. They didn't, like, the boy dog, the one that she really plays with, was kind of indifferent about puppies, but he didn't like how persistent she was, and just trying to like, hey, I love you, be my friend. And then the girl dog was having nothing of it. She doesn't like puppies. She hates puppies, actually. And so she just disliked Willow. She did not like Willow until Willow calmed down. And now the boy dog plays with her, and the girl dog at least doesn't get needled by her. She'll go over to the other dog, and the other dog will growl at her. She knows to back off, basically. Hurry up. What is the music doing? It seems a little too aloof. Okay, there we go. Man, that is a quick print. I hope the tops of these don't get too melty, because there's a lot of stuff. Like, there's not a lot of time between layers. Oh yeah, Super Slicer are gonna make the... Let me check on something here. Zoom in. It looks like it's gonna make a ridge. Might not be very good, but it'll be a ridge. Yeah, it'll try. Oh, having that wind is nice. I need more cool air from outside. It gets hot down here as it is a basement. Alrighty, now it just has to cool. Look at all that cold air coming in. The Lepton camera knows what temperature it is because it knows what temperature it isn't. No, the Lepton camera knows what temperature it is. We just don't have the software. I gotta see if there's like an update to the Group Gets webcam, the miniature webcam that we use. Miniature thermal webcam. It's really good. Like, I like that it's doing just nice, easy webcam view. There's so much more AV stuff that I have to do too. Man, I'm getting up in my own business about the projects that I need to do around here that I've been meaning to do, because we need to get like a Willow camera that will actually display the dog. That looks even. I don't know if that's right. That's a bunch of AV stuff that I got to figure out, because I want a camera that'll be able to see Willow around the corner when she's sleeping by the couch. That dog was supposed to get me views. It's the only reason we got her. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's not true. That's not true at all. It was for the exercise. It's for the exercise that she makes me do. That's not true either. I saw a Reddit post with the Phillips version of this screwdriver. It had 4,000 upvotes. It's like, I know Wayne Gretzky thinks I'm missing shots here, but it's like, it's madness. Some of the stuff that I see at the top of Reddit. I think my account got hacked too. I've been trying to recover it, and I don't know how to do that. I sent them a support ticket like 2 months ago, and they still haven't gotten to it. Or they friggin' ignored it, thought I was a hacker. But like the email changed on the account, and it's like, wait a second, what the hell is this? How do I get my account back? Maybe if I make a social media push, I'll get my account back. Ooh, my glucose level feels like it's going into the sky. Let's check it. Oh no, it's actually pretty good. Here, you guys can see it. Where is that? It's somewhere around here. Chat overlay spring. Maybe it's in the overlays folder. It should be in the overlays folder, but it's not. I think it's in here. BG. I need like a search function. Here it is. Is that up to date? Yeah, that is up to date. That is my glucose level right now. So I ate soup, as was the title of the stream for a little while, and then I gave 30 grams of carbs, and my glucose level went up to 160-ish, and now it's sort of well, it went up to about 180, and now it's starting to go back down. Which it was just like a vegetable soup with chicken in it, and for some reason it has like the best glycemic control of any other thing that I have in the fridge right now. It's actually kind of wild that I would not spike up to hyperglycemia. This is going to take a bit. This needs to like fully cool down. It does have a fan on it. I should put one of my huge fans under the bed so it'll cool a little faster. Would that be well, that'll add to the mass of the bed, but I have a big fan that doesn't have a home right now. This is a big fan. If I put that under here, or put it on the axis, like sticking out, put it on the side maybe, over here, and then it'll just start ejecting massive amounts of air. Everybody tells me that's not useful. The thing that I actually want to do is at some point tape a bunch of tube underneath this thing and have it be a water-cooled bed. And while you're doing water cooling, you might as well water cool the nozzle, the heat break, and get amazing efficiency. And then while you're at that, why don't you water cool all the stepper motors and keep those nice and cool? There are hot ends that are water cooled, but I would rather DIY it. And then, when it breaks, you start a massive fire. Where are we? We're here. I think we need to wait for the second crossing of the bed temperature and the outside temp, because these aren't going to move at all right now. Those are on there pretty good. I can force the issue with a little bit of Windex. Windex, let's go. Let's effing go. So that'll cool it off a little bit, although we probably won't really see that too much. DIY now to DIY later. I DIY for my DIY future. I'm thinking ahead. Quiet Friday, it's snowing out, we got no business out there, so let's get in here and let's design some stuff, eh? Now I sound Canadian. All right, let's take that over there. I need a pinter tool. Pinter tool. Yep. Should I stream in a fake Scandinavian accent all day? Oh no, that got a little Russian there. Never mind. Can't keep them consistent. Every now and then, like when there's nobody else watching, I'll be able to do the funny, kooky accents. But when people are watching, I'm in my head. I'm in my own headspace, and I always mess them up. I mess them up. They're terrible. I'm not talking as loudly because I know there's people upstairs who can hear me. That's why it's the times when I'm best at streaming is when it's just me here. There's nobody else in the house. Then I can actually really like do the theater kid exuberance. All right, so there's the 3D print, and now I have pins. I have pins. I need to like, can I set a Chrome window to always be on top? Is that a thing? Let me see. I'm going to right click on the thing. New tab. Tab reading list. Tab group. Oh, I could do tab groups. That would be a good idea, actually. Nah, it's too much. Pin? I don't think pin did it. Well, it removed the close button from it, from the tab, but now I can still close the window. I don't think pinning did it. What if I put yeah, Windows can still go over it. I don't think that's a feature of Chrome. All right, let's see here. Are these things already cooled down? Wow. So, thoughts. It has a little bit of the thickness. It has the cut to allow it to snap in. It is comparably sized. Might give this one a go, but one thing we got to check. Okay, that's a lot of force. I like that. Now this won't snap in very hard, so perhaps I will have to do a revision that has a little bit more dick on this piece right here. We need a little bit more thrust, a little bit more pump. Let's extend it a little bit and make it a little bit larger. The problem is the ridge is not gonna, my printer does not like doing ridges like that, so it has no fan. So the top puck is formed here. Let's extend that by half. So now that's a little more lengthy, and let's make it a little larger. Definitely looking like a warp pipe. And then, against all reason, I am going to chamfer it down. Same thing with the other one. Let's do the same step twice. Man, I'm glad I learned that trick where you hold down Control and it lets you edit the stuff that's selected. Like that, maybe? I don't know if the 3D printer is really going to do that, but let's just try it. Then we have the seat here, and then we have this just sort of as support material. So let's give this a shot. This may not print properly, but I'll give it a shot. We'll do 2 of these. Save as mesh. I wish they did versioning on the body, but I guess it's okay if things have the same file name constantly. Temprints, where's that? Temprints, right here. And then super slicer, and then back to, blah. I didn't expect those to print so good. I didn't expect them to, you know, not be all big melty piles of crap plastic. Dude, because the way my printer works is now completely ready to print again, which is good when you iterate through designs like I do. AKA, you know, when you want to sound smart, when you make a lot of horrible mistakes in your engineering process, you call that iterative design. So you can skirt around saying I am inept and say I like iterative design. It's kind of like when you're at fault, you say we decided that etc., etc. Use the royal we. Watching a complex shape this easily in Fusion makes me want to punch and designers. just walk up to somebody's cubicle, smack them, and walk away, and they're like, I understand. I understand completely. Some people love their command line too. You still find people who love the command line, and I'm like, the command line is the most obsolete thing in design possible, and that is a hot take. I don't mind taking flack for that hot take, but I think the command line has no place. We don't think in command line. I mean, a little bit, but still. The modern Fusion, I think, is an absolutely wonderful program. Of course, then again, I am biased because that's what I learned in school, but I'm allowed to be biased. Everybody else is. Also, it helps that it is a gorgeous program. It really won me over with the visuals. Just the simplicity of the interface versus the complexity of the visuals and how it's doing the sort of black line with texture inside of it, and it has a little bit of lighting and stuff, is wonderful to me. I think that's great because the CADs that I knew in the past were not this visual. And it's, you know, I don't know. Engineering is a creative and visual process sometimes. Sometimes it's creative. It's actually creative a lot of the times. It's just the creativity is boring. The creativity of engineering is boring, which is an unfortunate thing because it's to me, it is really fun and exciting. But like I said yesterday, I'm one of those people in a game where if I can see like a minor benefit in grinding for 10 hours, I'll do that. Against all concepts of fun. Why are there 4 gaps? Hold on a minute. One gap. You can't see that one. 1 gap. 4. 5? What was I doing here? I think I did them in pairs. I think I did pairs that were. I didn't have enough bolts, so I kind of selectively did it. Plus, it's a 3D printer. That rail does not need to be the most rigid thing in the world. All right, so with that going, washing machine pins part 2, I guess I can get start soon out of here because I got a lot of figuring out to do, and I'm already late for stream today. And I've got a friend who wants to pick me up and go to a friend's for spaghetti. I'm like, there's like 6 inches of snow out there, and he's like, I have a big truck. I got a big American truck that's full of guns. Let's go to our buddy's house. I'm like, how do you say no? I know no is a complete sentence, but it's not with my friends. So, and I haven't been out in a long time. I haven't done anything social in a while. So, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do a little Fusion 360, and we're gonna make a chess set. No, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do more on the RC car because it is a fun and cool project. Look at how fun and cool that is. I've put a lot of work into this RC car actually over a long time. I've sort of on and off worked on that thing for a couple of years. I got it during the pandemic, and I got a WL Toys 989. And the only part that's left of the WL Toys 989 are the housings for the differentials. Those are going. This is no longer actually the only part that is originally a WL Toys 989 is the inner gearing and drive shaft. These parts here, this gear, the 2 gears on the end of the drive shaft, and the bearing. Actually, the wheel bearings too, because I had to take them. I didn't have any of those wheel bearings. I should probably order some. So the bearings and that center drive shaft are the only original parts in the WL Toys 989 kit, which speaks for, I suppose, the fragility of the plastic of the WL Toys 989, because I put one of the brush DC motors in there. Not this one. It was this one, in fact, it was. This one was a plasma dash motor. I think it was a green plasma dash, which is a Tamiya motor that's like super duper, like this motor fucks. Like these are crazy. They will take all your batteries and they'll chew on them in front of you and then just spit them out on the floor. But they are super fast. They produce a lot of RPM, and this one is in fact banned in racing. But I put that in the WL Toys kit, and it was fast enough to crash into a table and break all of its connective tissue on the wheel axis. So I bought a second kit almost entirely for parts. I was going to make 2 Mario Karts out of this stuff during the pandemic, and we got distracted with other projects, as is normal. I mean, everybody's got their closet skeleton projects, but I've put some effort into the WL Toys kit, and I put one of these handy dandy little 3-phase motors in the thing. These little this one is specifically a 2500 kilovolt rocket motor. It's a 3-phase motor. It is sized for the Mini Z kits. This thing is insane. That one's cool, but the 9500 kV, I keep trying to say kilovolt, but it's not kilovolt. It's a different rating. kV is a rating of when you put, I think is it 1 volt in, how much it turns? But this one is a 9500 kilovolt kV. Brain, can we separate those two? This one is a 9500 kV motor, and I did like a push in order to get all of the electronics on here just with tape. I don't like how clunky my suspension is on it, but what I was able to do is race it around outside before it got, is it 1000 RPM per volt? Okay, that's a better way of thinking about it, actually. But I took this thing outside and I managed to get it tuned and ready. We had to modify the radio because the FlySky radio is very hackable. There's a really nice program. It uses an STM microcontroller. Apparently, I now know everything about STMs. But you're able to hack this thing and make every single button do something. You can, instead of having the tune for like steering and throttle, you can make these activate servos. So you can add lights to your vehicle. You can, people with the rock crawlers, they have like locking differentials that they can access. All I have is a gyroscope. So I was able to activate the gyroscope with a 3rd channel button and assign the trim to move the trim back and forth. The thing is, on the original radio, all these servos are treated as positive and negative, right? So swing one way positive, swing the other way negative. And all of the tunes were to pull it back either further to the center or further away from the center. You couldn't cross that center line. The gyroscope goes from the absolute most negative, which is off, to the absolute most positive, which is really, really heavy correction. And so going to 50% as my lowest value still had too much correction for a high speed run. So hacked the radio, got the new software on there, and I was able to move the variable, not save it. I was able to move the variable with a trim. And so I started doing extreme high speed runs of this thing. Well, the WL Toys kit was never that strong. So now I have metal parts on it, and I have parts that are specifically fuses. This thing still isn't rigid enough. It's not quite, well, it's not that it's not good enough, because this actually is pretty beastly awesome. It's more that I'm avoiding designing a little plastic piece that would go here and hold all of my electronics. Yeah, I think it is unloaded 1000 RPM per volt is what kV is. So yeah, I am procrastinating working on a handy dandy little electronics enclosure for the side here, because what I want to do, I would like to use Fusion 360's generative design in order to make the chassis. I want the chassis, instead of being carbon fiber, it would be a generatively designed organic shape. I think that would be really cool. I wanted to test this out because it's one of those hot features that Fusion has, and we have the 3D model to use it. I haven't done anything with my educational copy before. I've got cloud credits that apparently I don't have to pay for. And so if I do this, I can do it for free. We can take a look at one of Fusion's more beastly features, and I don't know, if it ever comes to me making something to sell, I can pay for the feature finally. But it would be really cool to be able to make that. And then what I can also do is get rid of some of the weirdness in the, oh, I want the microscope. Where's my microscope view? There it is. I can get rid of some of the weirdness of the 3D print nature of the chassis. Like right here, it's hard to see. I need my light. Where's my light? Bring that back over. Get my mic cable off of it. Mic, the cable. So the 3D printed part is the suspension tower, right? And that connects to a ball joint, which it doesn't need to be a ball joint, especially not in the rear, but it is a ball joint in this design, in the WL Toys model. So what it does is it contacts the ball joint, but when I crash into something or when this gets a little bit hinky, it kind of goes back and forth like this. And that changes the dynamics of the wheel. It changes the camber of the wheel. I did a little bit of modification in order to stabilize the toe in on the bump steering, basically. So that's a prevention for bump steering here. We can, in the new one, we can fix that completely. We can actually get that to totally work. And then the other thing is that there's no ground clearance on this model. And I don't necessarily want an amazing amount of ground clearance. I want a little bit more though. I want a little bit more, and possibly maybe I can use some better suspension components, because this thing is basically right up against the ground. It scrapes on stuff very, very easily. There's about 1 millimeter of clearance, and I don't know what that's doing for me. I don't think anything really ever needs to go over a rock that's that tall. I'd like to get a little bit more suspension clearance. Those are the ideas. We just have work to do. I need to start defining things on this model. One of the things that I tried to get done was the rear linkage. I worked on that a little bit overnight, but I didn't have a ton of time to work on it. So yeah, and then over here what we're doing is I'm printing out washing machine pins. The washing machine tray has come loose. All the wheels have started falling off, and these thermoplastic, these polypropylene wheels have just fallen off of their axles. They're held to the axle with just a pin through, and that's the pin. The pins that we had, I guess, wore down over time, and the wheels have just started popping off. So what we have is a new pin out of PETG, which luckily is a slightly warmer plastic. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Ah, man, something about winter dryness. So those pins are PETG. Polypropylene is a much higher glassing temperature than PETG. So I'm pushing it a little bit, but there's no load on the pin. The only load on the pin is when you load and unload the dishwasher and the wheel is trying to escape. So the wheel bumping up against the pin is the only force that it should see. So I've designed these during the intro. I'm gonna print them out. I'm gonna see if they're anything good. All right, anyway, back to this. We've still got a bunch of work to do. In order to get generative design to work, we need to define stuff for the CAD program. We basically need to tell it what to keep and what to throw away. We can't just tell it to, hey, generate something for me. It has no information. It needs information. So we need to build a couple structures that are going to hold things together. And basically the way I believe that the motor is going to go in, or sorry, the axles are going to go in, is by having a plate underneath. So I will screw a plate up into the axle in order to hold that in. I mean, I could go from above too. It's completely symmetric. Or from the rear. Dun, dun, dun. I actually could do that. But then I would have a big solid plate right here. I'd rather have a big solid plate underneath. I mean, I could connect the A-arms to it. I'm going to use 2 A-arms now, and that'll keep this from cambering backwards. It will also completely obliterate the plastic body structure when it gets into an accident. So depending on what we design, I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, let's make something to hold on to these. So we need to start making bodies. We're done with, well, okay, we're not done with parts. Wait a minute, I need to put this into the model. The problem with putting this into the model is that I'm kind of using, oh my God, bother. Oh, bother. You need to stop talking so fast. I know you're excited about these projects, but your excitement, everybody hates it. Everybody hates it when you like something. Anyway, I gotta talk a little slower. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, dude. Distance between your prints, is that like a stance for a reason? Yeah, that's my B-boy stance. No, what that is it's allowing a little bit of time for the layer to cool just slightly, because PETG can tend to be very, very melty. It'll just melt. And so without a parts fan, the distance is just to slow things down. That's it. I also have the printer on an extreme fast. I basically tuned it to be as fast as possible. So yeah, I don't know if it would save an incredible amount of time. It's a lot of back and forth, but you can see that the heat in the post and the size of the post, it's better to let it go back and forth. You can't even see the gap because I don't have them twisted. I should have turned them a little bit. I guess I put it on the wrong axis. I need a thermal microscope, and I have that other thermal imager. I don't know how to make it into a microscope. Just putting a lens in front of it, I don't think will work. I'm going to Google something and it's going to be at least $12,000. What the? I guess I have that concave lens. Thermal microscope. That would be super cool. Oh my God. Is it this whole rack of equipment? This is one of those, yeah, one of those contact us pricings. Why does it have a whole optical bench? I don't think it's the whole optical bench. I think it's just that unit right there, but I don't know if that's, we'd have to build one out of the Lepton 3.5. What about, Fleer Lepton 3. What are these group kits? $160. Man, we bought ours for so much more. The one that we're using now I got off of eBay for $150, but you still need a driver board for it. Total price $300 for what? Oh, yeah. Thermal Mini Pro. Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm using. I've seen industrial lasers smaller than that thing. I think it's just the tip of that thing. I don't think the whole cart, because the cart had an optical bench on it, so I don't think that's part of it. But how would you turn this into, I mean, yeah, micro thermal camera. It's actually got decent resolution. There are better ones out there nowadays, though. I don't know who, I think it's like some other country is producing these things. It might be China, is producing thermal imagers, and they're getting really good resolution. Lepton adapter module. I don't think anybody's playing around with this stuff, are they? They need to be. Everybody should be playing around with this stuff. 3.5 with radiometry. DigiKey daily? What? Oh, I guess it comes with, well, it's just what lens would I need in order to turn this into a microscope? And those lenses are extremely expensive. Extreme teardown. What did they get rid of all the layers? I'm kind of interested now. Oh, it's Mike's Electrical. Sorry, Mike, I gotta mute you. I just want to know what's inside. What the heck? What am I seeing? Is that the imaging core? Whoa, okay. Oh no, that's the IC on the back? Oh, damn. This is a $160 video. What the heck? How does it do it? What are that? What is that stuff? Oh my God. Okay, so I'll want to watch that video later. Okay. Oh, our print's finished. Cool. All right. So we need to design a bunch of stuff. It's just basically like busy work. I'm going to put those rear arms in. And when I put the rear arms in, I actually have to untilt these A-arms in order to get everything into the right place and have it lock in the right location. And that'll make my toe in the rear actually adjustable. This will not be adjustable unless I make it like bolt into something that can be moved. Adjustability really isn't my goal here. I think in an RC car this size, I'm not really going to need it. If I really, really do, then I guess I can modify the Fusion file and rerun the iterations. Maybe I should make something up here that bolts in and is able to go in and out so that I can have toe in if I need stability. I don't know though. Am I shooting myself in the foot is a question that I ask myself a little too often to be comfortable. All right, let's just do it though. I want to actually have results on this because we've been talking about generative design. Generative design is very schmexy when you actually have your design like ready to go, but we don't have it ready to go, and it takes hours for it to run the generations or whatever. I really want to test it out though. I want to see what it's like. So we're going to move this, and I'm going to twist it on this axis. I'm going to go -10 to make it flat again. The 10-degree tilt is really just for like illustrative purposes. We'll move them all in one step, -10. And actually, if I don't lock in the position, then it never happened. So I guess I'll just, oh no, I need to move this with everything else. So move, copy. Unfortunately, ball joints are kind of difficult in Fusion. You need to do both pieces of the ball joint as, oops, wait a minute, that's not what I want. Both pieces of the ball joints as separate entities. And that's going to make a lot of file garbage for me to deal with. Huh, why is that off? That's odd. I guess my axles are off by a little bit. I wonder what's doing that. I guess I moved this down and that put it outwards a little bit, but when I move it back, it moves back. We're gonna have to look at all four of these then. Because I twisted it on the axis down here, right? Yeah. So that shouldn't have moved at all. Those are definitely locked in. They're the right height. Weird. All right, so let's fix this. Move copy. Where's my move copy? Oh, yeah, it's down here. And then origin point. Oh, wait, we're not doing point to point. We're twisting. Twisting on this axis, and we go back 10. Dude. Okay. It's too bad I can't make this just like clickable, so I can just click and move it up and down. Because that's what the motion stuff lets you do in Fusion. You know, I could click it and have the drivetrain basically animate, but it would be kind of a neat little model to have everything locked, or have the chassis locked in, and then you can click on stuff and look at it go. I'm not paid enough to do that. It's very annoying, and I need to learn how to do it. But anyway, move copy. I gotta pay attention today. I'm gonna get way too sidetracked by stuff. 10 degrees, and then we'll take this and we'll move it. And I'll do this to all four of the wheels because something weird is going on. I don't know why it's off by a little bit. It's like the axle went inwards for some reason. And let's take this one. It's easy enough to do. It's just a lot of clicking that I have to perform. And then, see, the whole point is what I'm trying to do is create structures that the generative design stuff is going to get its instructions from. So I'll make a little tube in between all these axles for the A-arms, and I'll say this needs to endure force, and this structure needs to be preserved, and it needs to endure force. And then the generation, whatever it is, AI, will take that into account and design me something cool. I don't think the wheelbase changes when the suspension moves. It should stay equidistant. All right, so it's just a lot of work. I didn't have time to work on it yesterday. I did a couple more uploads. Still in the beginning of February though. All right, move copy. Where is that? It's over here. I don't know how much that the YouTube uploading is going to benefit me, but some of the videos got a lot of views. So it's funny because they are satisfactory videos from a million years ago, and we never even finished that base. I tried to do a satisfactory stream where I made a new base because I wanted to change a couple of the fundamental things that we were doing. The way that we structured our base was a little bit weird, and I wanted to kind of solve those problems, and I never did. Actually, we'll take, because I spent almost the entire stream just looking for a place to build. It was the worst. I'm not concerned in getting an animation of anything here. I think I can go into the animation thing, is what Short Lurker was trying to show me. You can go into the animation studio and like really design what the animation looks like of your thing being built, and that would be like for your marketing department. Hey, what's up, Beat Drop guy? How's your Friday shaping up? We are snowed in, so I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. Oh, look at that. Why is it like that? This is all like off. What the heck? In our hastiness to build this, I wonder if I've messed up a couple things. This is the two pins conflicting with each other. Well, once I get the A-arms into position, I can jiggle those things into position, into place. Okay, what am I doing? So I need to pull in the rear toe-in jigs. So that is the admin project. Oh yeah, well, actually, 3D print is not cool enough yet, right? Where's Octoprint? Got to check in on it. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time to cool. I won't force the issue with Windex. Okay, so I need to go to home, and I need to go to RC Car projects, and then I need to look at the, well, I should have this organized by like suspension and stuff, but I made this linkage last night. I guess I can use 2 of those and then the little screw insert things that I have and make the rear linkages in this manner. And because they need to pivot up and down, they don't need to go in any other axis. So a ball joint, I guess, is okay for the outer one. The inner one, I could actually use some of these pins that I have. It might be a little bit too much friction, though, but I definitely have enough of these pins. That's these guys over here. These are actually part of that upper A-arm, but I can make them part of the rear linkage. I think that would actually be a good use of these things, because these came with the ball joints originally. I've ordered so many parts for this thing. That would be this little guy right here. Okay, fine. You just go away. That's fine. Where's tweezers? Tweezers are the only way I'm going to be able to show you guys these things. Had a steak and fries and home-brewed beer. Hell yeah, brother. God, I got to get that mead going, because I want to make cider and mead. Those are the easy recipes. And I guess I'm going to do a no-boil mead. I boiled the mead last time. I don't think I should this time. I should just heat up the bottles so that the honey pours out properly. Get my jugs of water from Acme. Jugs of drinking water. I do the exchange just so I don't have to deal with tap water taste. Our tap water is good for brewing, but you can still kind of taste it. Unless it's early in the morning and you are hungover, then our tap water is manna from the gods. Other than that, though, and actually lately it's been awesome, because if I'm running the shower in the morning, all that cold water comes in from the ground table or whatever, you know, all the ground cooled water comes in, and I get an icy, super duper icy drink of water. But I don't have much hot water anymore. The hot water has to fight it. Let's build this part. This part is super easy. Why boil it? Yeah, it's to kill stuff in it. But the thing is, like, all that stuff is already in like sealed containers, and it's been like either pasteurized or exposed to radiation or whatever the hell they do in order to kill organisms inside of the liquids. And since mead is yeast, honey, water, I don't, you know, all I need to do is sanitize the containers and then get to that. Let's make a new part, and then we're going to start on the deck, and this part is going to be a circle, and the first circle is of size, question mark. How the hell am I going to measure that? It's like 2. Is that 2? Measuring small circular things is very difficult to do. Drop it on a ruler we could see. I'm going to call that 2. So we start with 2 millimeter. And then I measure, oh geez, we're zoomed out. Should make the default a little closer. Let's get that outer radius. That's 3.99. I'm calling that 4. So we do a 4 circle. 4. And then we need a square piece coming out of that. How do you design that? How do you do that? I guess I can go in both directions with the center thingy. Well, or I can do from the back, because that's 7 millimeter overall length, and the width is 3.5, 3.6. That's a weird number. Okay, so 3.6, and then from the very back over here, it's 7 millimeter, which means, well, 5 for a square going out from the bottom there. The width was 3.6, so 1.8. So we'll just do this here, 1.8 in this direction. And then, well, it's going to be weird numbers. I guess I'll do 1.8 in either direction. .8, 1.8, and then I'll do a 3-point and make that non-construction, go bop to bop, and go this way. And that was 7, so 5. Okay, so there's our primary body. Finish the sketch. Extrude U, and U for the width, which I think is going to be the same. Yeah, 3.6 and 3.6. Okay. 3.6. Oh. You. Don't include that. Got that. And then we make, I guess I got to make a sketch. I mean, I could create a hole, but the hole tool is not great. I don't really like the hole tool. Everything really needs a sketch. So I'll just create a sketch. No, not selection set. Get out of there. Although selection sets would probably save me a bunch of trouble organizing things. Is the selection set, like, can I put components in there? I wonder if I can organize my components into folders that way. Great sketch. And then this hole is, hey, Mahalo, yeah, TGIF, everybody. It is Friday. The day of fries. I should have had fries. I had soup. I'm going to call that 2. I'm going to call that 2 millimeters. So I need the center of this. I guess the easiest way would be a box, and then snap to center, snap to center. I'll do the one up here. And then I do non-construction. I'm hitting the X key when I do that. That's 2 millimeters. Finish. Extrude. That, I don't know, doesn't matter. Blech. 3 millimeters, deal. Okay, so don't look at my sketch. Appearance. And I actually need to find the appearance that I used for the other pieces. So look at the appearances in here. And neither of these are, what's this one? Steel satin red. Nickel polished. That's not that one. This is, I guess I modeled these in steel, even though they're aluminum. It's anodized aluminum. I wonder if, is that going to be in my appearances? I'm going to copy that to my appearances. Now I've got that. All right. So appearance, and then we're going to go to my appearances. It's that tab right there. Steel satin red or steel satin like that. I guess steel satin red. Load that up. Load that. Download that. Load that up. Apply. What the hell? What have you done? Why did that mess up so much? What the hell? Hey, you're red and you're bright red. Huh? What the heck? Oh. Wait, it changed it again, just arbitrarily. What the heck? Why did it break so much? Hold on a minute. I guess cancel. What the? Okay, all right. Let's look at the other one and see what it says. Well, I guess I want this one and not that one because that one's broken. Are you kidding me? Okay, so something's wrong with the appearance, I guess? Unassign and delete. What happened to you, steel satin red? Who hurt you? That is nickel and polished. That's this color here. This one, 159, 159, 159. That isn't a red. Why does that look red? 160, 160, 160. That's a gray. And 0.26 roughness. What the hell happened? Okay, let me look at the original part. Maybe that's what's going on here. So the original part would be somewhere around here. Oh, it's in another folder, of course. Hey, wonderful stream. Hey, wonderful Swede. He's so complex. Appearances. Aluminum anodized glossy. All right, that's the one that I want. Unless it's already in there. Wait a minute. Aluminum anodized. Doesn't appear. So, oh, maybe this is an already. It might be a stock appearance actually. Let's try. Let's look at metal real quick. Metal, aluminum, anodized glossy red, anodized rough red. I used to play bass for anodized rough red riders. I guess I glossed it up. Well, I'm gonna have to save it, I guess. So let's add that to. Wait. Yeah, we'll add to my appearances. There we go. What the heck, man? Equivalent materials already present in the document. Oh, yeah, wait, we're in the wrong. We're still in this document. Sorry, I'm getting organized. All right, so remove that. Get out of my face. I don't want to see you anymore. Go. Okay, appearance, and then this one gets our new cool appearance. And it looks correct? Yes, it does. Good. All right, that was easy. Glossy was under defaults, whatever. Now it's in my appearances. Now I know where to find it. I know where to find it. I suspected something like that was going on. Oh well. Okay, so cool. We have that linkage, and now I'm going to go into. Oh yeah, save this as fixed link. Fixed linkage. Close that, and go into my susp, and then this one I never want to see again, so I delete it. Yes, delete it. Just in case I go back to the double ball joint one, I'm not gonna erase it from history, which is something that you can casually say in Fusion 360, maybe not anywhere else. And we're locking that into there, and I'm gonna flip it, yoink, cool, click OK. And now we're gonna move this point to point. Yeah, it looks a little bit more like metal. It's a little bit over glossy for what it actually is, but I just want I want the impression that it's the right material. I don't necessarily need it to exactly match. If I wanted to spend all the time, I mean, I could really make things look very realistic in this program. There we go. So that's what the linkage is going to be. Save that. Oh yeah, capture the position, then Control S the crap out of it. And now bring it into the main drawing. So that would be not in this folder. Of course, I've made things so easy for myself. WL Toys, the organization of these files is quite lacking at the moment. Quite lacking. So now I'm going to attach this thing point to point. Let's get this out of here so we can actually see what we're doing. Here, here, and here. I guess while I'm at it, I might as well pull in the other one too. Although I could just mirror this. I don't know if I have an axis where I need it to be. So yeah, I'll just pull in another one. These. Let's get this over here, and let's twist it. This is all in preparation for generative design. Generative design is, of course, where we tell the software what bounding conditions need to be met, and it decides what solid form at its minimum will meet those criteria. Yeah, I will erase you from all history, part. You will no longer exist. I kind of wish that was a little closer. I do have the other type of suspension arm. Maybe I should be putting that one in there. And that's going to mean a little bit of rocket surgery, but I think this is the time for it. So yeah, let's remove this. I guess I'll just not view it. I'm just going to pull this out of view on the model, and we'll pull in the other suspension components specifically for this one. For the WL Toys housing, I need a different element on this anyway. If I come crawling back to the old model after all of the effort that we're putting into generative designing this stuff, I think what may inevitably happen is that this thing is going to create the dumbest looking generative model ever, and I'm going to say no. And then I'm going to go back to doing the carbon fiber chassis, but make my own housings for the differentials. I think that may be the inevitable direction that this is going. But anyway, I don't want this stuff sticking out so far, so I want to pull these in and use these. This, and they're symmetrical parts, so let's pull this back here. How's it going, Dinsdale? How you doing? Oh, that didn't move because I didn't... Stupid thing. Move copy. Why did it select that? All right, you move copy this way. Okay, there are the correct housings. So in order to find this in the absolutely overwhelmed part tree, I've got all this stuff under this part. This part is the full starting position of our chassis, right? I'm doing good. I got a little headache, but I should hydrate. I'm going to get more seltzer. Hey, Gonad, what's up? We're building a race car, and we're going to try generative design, but it's going to take an incredible effort for us to get there. If it's anything like FEA, it's going to fail to simulate a bunch. Maybe. The example that they give for generative design, I can pull that up on a browser and show you guys what we're in for. Fusion. Oops. Wait, I hit F in a window, and I don't know which one it was. Slept too long, not sure. That's what happens when I nap. Now, which one was it? It was, not you. Not you. Actually, I think it was you. Yeah, so this is a video by this asshole, Lars. Oh, no, this isn't the one that I watched. No, he's on camera too much. Was it this one? Yeah, so this is when they, for like a year, they had free generative design, probably to stress test. So this is Kevin something or other from Product Design Online. And so what you do is you set up, this is the example. The example is this sort of like swinging piniony thing, but you tell it what the fixed elements are and the bearing elements, and then you give it an impression of the loads that it's under. So you end up giving it all these instructions, and then you send it off to the cloud. And when you send it off to the cloud, apparently this one took like an hour. Yeah, gets to the cloud, and then you get a bunch of iteratively designed solids, and you can choose from those. And you have to like download them. It does a bunch of studies and gives you a bunch of data about it. But yeah, it costs cloud points. I'm hoping that we get a little bit more of the spiderwebby stuff in ours. The Arduinos are killing this man. They're erasing him from history. He's fading out right before our eyes. So what we can do in order to navigate the absolute beast, the storm of mess, it's basically a parts bin in this folder. Double click, or just click on it once, and it'll highlight it for you. And so now I know that that's the hub that I don't ever want to see anymore forever. So I click on that one. That's the other hub that I don't want to see anymore forever. Now we can put these alternate axles that have a shorter pin in place. Yeah, we're going to load that spiderweb. We're going to fart that spiderweb stuff onto the cloud. Like I said, I want the chassis to look like Spider-Man, like jumped into my window and just went, right? And then it'll look like that. Because that's how he shoots the webs, right? He does that gesture. What's that? I thought it was meant to make the best one. Surely 8 options meant it doesn't know which best. The human, oops, that was the wrong thing. The human knows what's best in this case. The computer says all this stuff meets various criteria to a varying degree. Which one do you want? So, pretty cool. Thought he shot the web out of his ass. No, that's Venture Brothers already did that joke. Venture Brothers did the anatomically correct Spider-Man, And so he shot Webb from just above his ass. And it was brown. Like the suit was brown. Move copy. Yoink. Yoink. And yoink. There we go. That's first one. Second one. The important part about these axles is this location here, where it is basically centered on the differential. Not film friendly. They edited it. Credited with edited in it. Move copy. I can't edit video without that Brack album song coming into the MF Doom album for Adult Swim, where he has oh crap, what was the guy's name? Editor of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, but the line was credited with edit in it, and it was just this like string of words that was like a word avalanche. Those are the hubs. Here are the linkages. All right, so to get the whole linkage, I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit move, and then this guy. I have all of MF Doom. Never got around to listening to any of it. Hell, there's no more is going to be made. There's a lot of good stuff in there, though. A lot of good stuff. I like MF Doom. Boop. Boop. He works with Aesop Rock a lot. Well, a little bit. They're under the same label. Move copy. Were. This to here. That's a little bit more efficient. Because we're designing our own thing, I don't have to use the parts that I use to hack together the fix. Because before, the front pin of that axle went to this bolt up here, and it created this weird sort of bump steer in the rear end. And so the fix is to get front end arms, put them back here, and then connect it to the suspension linkage. There's a slightly different mod for the regular WL toys you can do, but that gets you a nice even tilt point. It's still, I think it still tilts a little bit weirdly, but having it tied directly like that made it so that the wheel kind of steered in when it bumped. What we're doing is I'm using the shorter ones, and since I'm designing this entire piece, I can have something that connects to it over there. Reminds me of my school SolidWorks courses. We had to digitize Lego bricks and assemble an F1 car with a steering rack from them. Oh my God, that sounds actually kind of really fun. A pain in the ass, but it sounds pretty fun. There'd be a lot of stuff to the model that's not visible, like all the pins interfacing with each other. But yeah, the RC car has been an absolutely, like an absolute beast of teaching. It has learned me quite a bit about the, what is it? What am I talking about? Quite a bit about Fusion 360. What am I even freaking saying these days? Okay, so those look like a pretty solid linkage. I mean, I guess I can design them vertically. They can stay up like this. I had them tilted downwards just so that it looked good. If we keep this in this position, I guess we could plan on making it look functional later. I haven't even thought about how I'm going to link this to the suspension. It's really supposed to be these pins. This pin down here is the one that's connected typically to the shock, which goes diagonally upward to the shock tower. I didn't want to have shock towers, and I wanted to do my mono shock thing. I don't know what I can do with these in the future, or if I don't think I'm going to do a push rod. I can't get a push rod in there. If I put a post on that, I could potentially make a post that fits onto that mount, or maybe onto both of them. I would have a thing that like wraps around it, and then that would have a shock mount on it that sticks up a little bit so it can clearance all this stuff. I mean, if I really want to get crazy, I could do a push rod that goes to the body with a pivot that would allow me to have the shock be horizontal. That would be hilarious. I have these air shocks that I would love to use, but they're way too big. Where are those air shocks? Hold on, I should take one out here. Show. I was going to use it, actually the air shocks I was going to use as a tensioner. Well, these are the wrong scale. I'm definitely not using these. Way too big. They're purple though. Those are going to tension rollers on Burn the Subs. And then, where are those? Where did they go? All the Nope. Oh, that was the drawer that I had before. Why do we keep looking at the same stuff? I know they're around here. I just ran into them. What the heck? Okay, fine. I don't have the shocks to show you guys. I just don't have them. They're the original springs, and then I've got the metal, the red metal springs. But all right, I will figure that one out later. I have been freed from my PHP hell. Sounds like you really enjoyed yourself. I'm free. All right, let's get the mic cable up here, and then we're going to start defining stuff. We're going to make some bodies in order to design the chassis. Where do we even start? Well, I need to start with bearings. I think I need to start with all of the bearings and supporting them in a way. So I guess we should start with a motor. I should have made different views where stuff is like gone. We're going to keep the suspension upwards like this for the generative design, and then I'll tilt them back later. So I'm going to lock these into position. Can you adjust camber with the suspension links, or is it setting the spring sag? Well, with the way that I've designed it, you can't do camber. Camber would be controlled by tilting this. Which one is camber? Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Suspension terms. Images. Why is the first photo a broken thing? I don't need to know that stuff. I need to know adjustment. Let's put that on there. Adjustment. Adjustment terms. Of course, it instantly goes to RC cars, huh? Okay, camber. Yeah, I was talking about toe. Camber, I cannot adjust, and that's why I was talking about, like, maybe I want to have like a plate that mounts to the top, and that way, if I had a plate that had like a slot in it that would allow me to go in and out, then I would be able to adjust camber. Right now, we are going for 0 camber, which might not be very stable. With the camber that I've had on this car, and right now it is set to have, it has a little bit of camber with how I've set it up right now. On the fronts. On the rears, I don't have any. It looks like the rears are straight up and down. But when this car, oh no, sorry, the fronts are, I don't know. Well, this is without it sitting on the ground too, but yeah, for something like a little tiny RC car, 0 should be okay. It's just when I go around a turn particularly fast, it does tend to explode off of the ground and start tumbling. So suspension is going to be really hard for me to show you guys because this camera has a bit of a fisheye thing going on. But let's just see what we got here. I have to get my surface plate out and actually really lock everything in. There we go. Okay. So there is a little bit of fisheye going on, but what you can see is that, I mean, there's a little bit of toe out and a little bit of camber going on. Actually, it's a lot of bit of toe out. I think it just looks like that in the from the fisheye lens. Yeah, it's not towing out as much as you think it is. Like there, now it looks like I've got positive camber and negative camber. So yeah, I'm gonna try it at 0. I mean, the alternative would be for me to make a little plate with a slot that I could move back and forth and just tighten one screw down on, and then support the plate with some ridges around it. And that would be neat, but I think I'm just gonna set it for 0 and see how that does. Yeah, the fisheye is really not helping me show you guys the suspension of this thing. I mean, like, for what it's worth, this WL Toys model is a lot of fun. Bonk. What was the other? There was another one where it was like the wheel tilting backwards. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna go with 0 for right now, but things may need to change. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find A-arms that are functional. WL989 is the specific kit, but if you look up WL Toys and RC, and the WL Toys one is all it's mostly plastic, and it uses little linkages, little plastic linkages. So the first crash really kind of set me back. However, all over like Alibaba and eBay and Amazon, there are sellers of metal parts, and if you buy a metal parts kit like these A-arm linkages and stuff, then the next thing down the line will explode. However, they help a whole hell of a lot. They help a lot having the solid aluminum parts. You have to buy 2 sets of the aluminum parts though, because some of them have way too much friction. They just don't work. So, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a fairly minimal amount of benefit from adjusting at this scale. Okay, so I need to make a plate for the motor. So I guess I'm going to start a sketch right here. Or should I go from the bearing? I mean, the bearing we can move around. That can actually move. Don't put cheap metal upgrades on the helicopters. Really? Makes them worse? Huh. You should start from the bearing, because the bearing needs support from the rear. And I guess if I do this drawing, I'll pull in all of that nonsense that I don't need. So if I start from... But if I start from the back of the bearing, I'm going to have to go backwards. The plate is going to cover the motor and this one bearing, and it's just going to be amorphous, but it'll hold screws. So let's start from here and create a sketch. This is going to be the beginning of our bodies. So I need to just pull some stuff out of view so that we can actually design on this. I wonder if there's a better way to do this, like unview stuff. Bonk. Bonk. Anything I highlight that gets in our way. That we need. That we need. That we don't. Bonk. Wait, why is it... Why did it highlight? What was that about? There we go. Okay, so we don't need the spur gear. Where was that? That was right here. Oh, it's the extra weight. Oh, I see. I guess we don't need any of the gears, do we? And those are part of the WL Toys model. I need to be able to see what I'm actually designing. Just keep clicking on stuff and unviewing until they're... Can I just right-click on it and do... I can. Okay, that's much easier. Now I don't need to go into the massive tree. The tree helps when you want to like select a couple things to move simultaneously. Okay, so this is where we are designing, and we need to project, because remember, this is our canvas. So I need to project the outer diameter of this bearing. And that's pretty much all I need. I can probably just hide everything now. Is there a show hide all? There's a show all. I'm going to regret clicking that one. Oh, it didn't do anything. Good. I'll have to find those parts again and show them. Oh my God, that's going to be obnoxious. Because I have those extra hubs in there too. Let's see. Hide all components. And then I guess I'll just go down the line here. There's probably something that'll let me hide everything quickly, but I don't know what it is. Okay, so now I can actually look at my sketch. I'm not used to having so many parts already in for your sketches. So we're mounting from here and here. Oh, I need my motor back. Hold on. Because I actually need... Oh no, that is our inner thing. Okay, cool. So I can just put center slots on these 3 things and make those structures. I was reticent in using this specific... Oh, look at that. Why are you like that? Oh, because you're a screw hole. Okay, I have to make my own structure that surrounds that with a little bit of leeway, because those are modeled threads, and modeled threads are not round. So I can't really use that as a cutting structure, really. But what I can do, because the motor needs to move back and forth depending on what gearing you've chosen, I'm going to create a slot from the center. So we go and we make our slot and we make it, I don't know how long that was. How long was the other one? I guess we can copy our other motor mount. Let's take a look at what the numbers are on the other motor mount. That's in the WL Toys folder, and we reverse engineered their cute little motor mount, which is just this L-shaped thingy. Which, boy, you know, when you make a part copying somebody else's work, and it feels like they must have used Fusion in order to create it. That's kind of neat. Anywho, we need the numbers from that, so we're going to look at the sketches, and the sketch that we want is this one. 0.75, huh? Okay, I guess we'll copy it. And then that radius is 7. This is a pin for my washing machine. Create, salute, center. All right, let's close that. Find that little dot and go 0.75. And then 7. 7 is a little big. I think 6 will do. I can barely see that line in there. No, it's gonna have to be 7. It needs that little bit of wiggle room. Do you often use references to external parts, like pulling those lines in from the assembly in a new part? I do that all the time, yeah. Well, not... Oh, you mean like fully from another part? Hold on, I didn't like 7. We're gonna do 6.4, 6.5. That's a little closer. RC car and washing machine matchup. This was the intro project. It was something just to kind of get you ready for the rest of the stuff we're gonna do today. Those pins hold on the wheels to the silverware, not the silverware, the basket that everything sits in. But the pins the original pins are these guys, and they're all worn out. All they do is keep the wheel from falling off of a plastic hub. So I figured I could 3D print a couple, and this is looking pretty promising. The amount of strength that we got out of it is enough that I can snap it in and it'll continue to hold. Now this is PETG, so during a sanitary cycle it might get a little soft, but it doesn't hold a load. All it does is hold the wheel in place. So I'm going to be using these guys in there, and those will snap into the hub. I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it'll work out. I think that motor part is in the assembly. Yeah, it's inside of the other assembly, and we're using it as a reference. So if I want to get to the motor part, I can click on the motor and then I can expand. It'll highlight the assembly, and I can expand it, and then it'll show me the part inside of the other assembly. It's crazy. It gets a little complicated, and I might not be doing something correctly in that whole process. I don't really know if that's the center. Maybe it is. Try it, and I'll do another center slot. And I'll go 0.75. And then this has got to be something like, where's that? Where's the, let me, I wish I could see that line in there so I knew. 2.2. Way too big. So maybe 2. That is not centered though. What the heck? Is there something that would center me here? I don't know. I could open this up and see what we did. What are all these structures? Oh yeah, I had to make a little swoop-de-hoop at the top. What did I base this on? Oh, those are only 2, I see. 2 millimeter, but what did I measure in order to locate this? Tell me your secrets. Oh, what did I do? No. While you're at configuration mode, click highlighted objects in the browser and features and timeline to configure visibility, suppression, feature parameters, physical material, appearance, sheet metal rules, and plastic rules. in the parameters dialog. Oh my God, get me out of here. Jeez. Okay. That looked like something that would massively shorten the amount of work to do something, though. That looked pretty significant. So where is your dimension that's going to hold you in position? Did I measure it from the bottom? That's where I measured... No, I didn't. Why is there a dot right there? I do not know. I do not know. I don't have answers to these things, these questions. Okay. That was for parameter-driven modeling. Oh my God. There's so much to Fusion that I just don't know. There's so much to this program. Escape. Finish. Okay, I have no idea where I got those positions from. If I look at it versus the motor, I mean, it looks like it's probably off. Let's bring the motor in. Let me bring the motor in, and I'll see what that is. What are you called? Oh, that says that I'm editing it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. Motor, spur, drive gear, battery, bearing. ASTX06? No. Wait, is the whole category on? Oh my God. Oh, I guess that just brought in the motor and a couple other things. So that was definitely the wrong one to use, huh? How can I get this off of there? Let's see. Where did this... Okay, yeah. That's locked horizontally. That's 0.75 by 2. I guess I just have to get rid of it. Bonk. Of course, it leaves all this garbage behind. There we go. So you're not the right thing. I need to somehow get, like, the center of the actual hole. Can I get the bottom plate of that? Nah. I don't think the bottom plate's even round. Generative, what's going to happen is when we eventually create all of our bounding elements, which is what I'm working on right now, we will basically throw this into the cloud, and AI will generate solids that meet our criteria. This is why people don't bother with cosmetic threads. This is why I don't bother with cosmetic threads. I hate them. This is mess you up, is what this is. It's the worst. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make these slots, and I don't know how I made the ones for the previous model, even though I just made them. I did this recently. Why don't I remember? Let's see. How did I do this? It's not like I took a printout. Here's one thing. I must have mirrored it. So that's 3 millimeters from the bottom. That doesn't help me out. I need it relative to this. And this is at 9. So there's no way that I will ever know what the difference between 3 and 9 is. It's just not something that I can do. So we'll do a construction line. Line, construction, from the center, and that would be 6 millimeters up. And then we make our sloot, create sloot, center, over here. Not a construction line. Actually, well, that line can be, but 0.75, and then 2. And that should now be still not centered. What the heck? Why is this so crooked? It's just because that comes into play. So it really needs to be like 5.5? Way too, that's definitely not the answer. Well, 5.8 is a weird number. Oh, it's still not right. 5.9 seems a little, it's got to be just 6. But 6 is like super awkward. Wait, is something else moving when I do that? 5.8. 5.9. Like 5.9 seems to be okay. It's just our screw hole is actually here-ish. Who's a Womble? What are you, huh? I know Womble. Is Soviet Womble still doing stuff? I think he's on Twitch, right? How come the difference between 5.5 and 5.9 and 6 is like make or break for this thing? It's probably because the center is just completely discombobulated. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Control Z this so that we never discuss it again. Can I do a center based on... No, not really. Hold on a second. Yeah, I know. It's a thread. It's like the most annoying thing in the world. Select all the threads and find a center for the group. Maybe I can do that. Oh, I can't select through the sketch. That's the only problem, because the motor thread is right up against the sketch, and I can't select anything behind this. I could do some of the view settings in order to do that, but I think it's a standard, right? So we could just look it up. This is what it's come to. Yeah, but anyway, eventually we're going to be making generative design is. Oh wait, I could have just copied this guy's work in order to answer Soul Survivor's question. See, this is my answer. There you go. There's my answer. Sorry, I didn't get to the button in time. Can I just hide the threads? Let's look at the part. Well, that's that whole recent thing with plagiarism on YouTube. There's some absolutely amazing videos about how incredibly plagiarized things are on YouTube. And it got me thinking, I'm like, could any of the stuff that I do be misconstrued as being plagiarism? Like, what if Uwu to Oo, or maybe I should just call him like Open Your Eyes or something, but Uwu to Oo, in his boisterous style of doing really cool projects, built a Burn the Subs. What would my reaction? You've seen the same video twice from different creators. What if he took Burn the Subs and he built Burn the Subs? What would be my reaction? I'd probably be like, hell yeah, brother. Great job. Like, I wouldn't necessarily care all that much. A lot of the stuff we do in here is like, let me look up this circuit and steal it. So it's weird when you get to something like video essays where plagiarism is much more rampant, where people are just reading you a Wikipedia article even. I need more pins. I can't lose sight of actually accomplishing something today, which is to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think, of these pins. I don't know if I need more than 8. Let's do a bunch more. Set number of instances. 8. Bonk. I wonder if I can use some of the arranging tools here. No, but then it'll arrange it on the whole bed. I don't want to use the whole bed. Whole bed, it's kind of cursed. Perfect. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll put them in a cluster. Good enough for me. Bonk. And then start that shit. There we go. And then get back to chat. Need more than 8. The sock monster will at least eat at least 3. She has grabbed 3D prints from the shop before and started eating them. Luckily, they are PETG, so they're at least safe. But I've caught her with stuff, and she was in just beginning the process of destroying them. I also want my socks in the dishwasher. Put the socks in there. Yeah, that's the... She attacks socks. The sock monster, generally, you'd be referring to a cat, but Willow comes in here and steals 3D print stuff. Oh, the dryer? Yeah, I guess maybe that, too. Cats are really the sock monsters, because they'll grab your socks and, like, move them around, because it smells like you. Willow does not bother with... all she does with laundry is sleep on it, right? She sleeps on laundry, but when I'm wearing socks and I'm hanging out with her, she will sit by me and be nice and calm and quiet and relaxing, and then I will twitch my foot and she will attack it in the most guttural snarl you've ever heard. Now, can I hide the threads on this part? I haven't lost sight of this. I know we're on 10 tangents at once. I know this is what happens here. We get on tangents and distracted and stuff. I haven't had time to work on these projects apart from stream because I've been uploading. I still have 270 odd videos to upload. 270. I have made a big chunk. I've taken a big chunk out of the 6 terabyte hard drive, but you know, more needs to be done. I gotta see when that hard drive is gonna fill up. I'm gonna do that real quick instead of doing what I should do. Stream storage, properties. There's only 1 terabyte free. Only 1 terabyte. What video am I on? What video am I uploading next? I may have just uploaded this one. Oh, this is the, yeah, I did just upload this. The 8-hour steering wheel stream where I play My Summer Car and look like a giant blimp sitting in a chair. And we take forever to figure out. And I didn't have the My Summer Car adjuster thing. You guys hadn't broken me down on that level. Oh, I killed a bunch of people at the rally. My Summer Car. These are old. You guys remember that setup with the other mixer and chat up on the 3rd monitor? I have 2 monitors now. Oh my God, I killed him. All right. I need to cut that up into a better YouTube video because apparently Symphony number 9 is somewhere in that stream and it made it unable to broadcast in Russia. Damn, there's that 56 again. What about, is that a viewer number? Oh no, that's your broken hardware. Did you have a 12-pack in the passenger seat as well? No, but I had a gun under the seat. Static every time you sit down to the you're a Brit, just start making tea all the time. You're not drinking enough tea if you're getting static electricity. I don't get you Brits. You talk about tea nonstop and then you have static electricity. This is just it's just a crime. I think the motor ended up in a folder where it shouldn't have. Nope, it didn't. Okay, where is it? RC car project. It's not. It's technically part of the electronics. It's the electromechanics. Nope. The mandated minimum. Yeah, I'm already on 2 gallons of tea per hour. Well, you know what? I can probably boast that as well when I buy the jugs of Wawa iced tea, but it's iced. Terrible mileage. It's all about the smiles per hour. I shouldn't smile, it's freaky. All right, anyway, back over to here. I'm looking for the motor. Motor. I think I got motors in a folder. Yeah, there we go. And I think the rocket is the motor in this folder. Open it up. Go, 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 go. There we go. Beautiful. We had to downgrade this, and unfortunately I couldn't get the front right, because the front on the motors that I have looks like this. That's not. It looks like this. It's got pairs of holes instead of 1 hole, but whatever. These things, by the way, if you get the WL kit, getting one of these rocket motors is absolutely monstrous. This thing and the DOS microcontroller, although it will set you back, you know, like $70, the upgrade is just unimaginable. You will blow up the RC car with the amount of speed. That's the wrong scene. You're not supposed to see any of that. Boy, this is a cursed scene. When was the last time we used this one? Kind of cool to have the 3D printer on thermals just like that. The 3D printer thermals are not very exciting. Just because the bed is designed to stay at a unified temperature and I can't get close enough to the nozzle. Go. Just get that little booger out of there. All right, threaded holes. What are you? Oh. Wait a minute. Now is that, it still seems like it's off. Nope, that's centered now. Okay, cool. I just deleted it from the timeline. I erased it from existence. This is bugging me, the little Z fighting we're getting over here. How do we solve that? Oh God, I don't even want to look at that right now. We kind of cursed this this design by making it into the other type of motor. Body comp 4, repeat on a circle. That's oh, he's making the windings. We're looking for this stuff though. There's nothing. Make all the faces the same color. Well, they're supposed to be the 3 solder pads. I probably should stick up and out a little bit more. I don't need to do that to this model. I'm just going to save it, and we'll update it in the other drawing, and then I'll be able to locate the screws. That's so much better. Okay, we don't need the motor mount either. Don't want to save that. And we go back into here, and we update all the external references. Look at those. Beautiful. Look at all the working space that I have in Fusion 360. Because Fusion 360 insists on the wideness of your monitor, utilizing the wideness of your monitor and having all of your tabs be things that come in from the side. So when I'm pulling parts into a drawing on stream, of course, I have my vanity blocks here so that we have something cool to look at, me. It squishes this even further. Fusion Eagle's even worse about this. You have like this tiny little. It's like playing Mechasalt or whatever the. Oh damn it! Why do I forget the one that has the awesome joystick that I want? I mean, I use the sketch palette a lot. I don't know if collapsing it really helps us, and I use the browser a lot, so it doesn't help collapsing that either. Okay, so let's go to the sleuths. Sloot, center point sloot. One day I'm going to quit this streaming thing and I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to be talking about sleuths when I'm building something for the boss man. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. Or not. Maybe I won't get in trouble. I don't know. Is it 2mm? Yeah, I think 2mm. And then the thread, the hole is smaller because it's a M2 screw. So we'll just do a 2mm. There should probably be a decimal clearance there, but this is so much easier without these threads on it. I'm glad that we were able to get a step file. Whoever shared that motor is a saint. You lose your job and have to go back to streaming. That happened to me once before. This is cyclical. Yeah, all right. Sleuths, and then center point sloot like this. I had a really cool job, and I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I took a test with a load cell. We built a load cell into one of these auto injection syringes, and we had nurses come in and pull on it as hard as they could. And so I was responsible for, I made like a sliding bearing, like a nylon bearing that would linearize the force, so they weren't moving. Like when they pull on it at an angle, it was still pulling straight on the load cell. And we had a miniature load cell that I wish I stole. That was it came out of the little viewing window of the syringe, and we ran the test, and I had the resolution too low. I had the resolution on the thing way too low. My mentor at the time, the only other engineer there, was saying like, this is why we need to run a mock test first. And it was like the first time that I was running a test. And they decided that wasn't bueno. And so they let me go, and they tried to not pay unemployment insurance. And so I was able to say, well, they had me doing this test and I hadn't trained on it. And nobody did nobody told me anything was wrong. So I should go back into the sketch. Control Z. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I am an indomitable fuck up. But that's why I got fired out of a cannon into the sun. Do I want to make this just a big oval? I guess I can make it just a big oval, because we've got our bearing and then we've got this thing, and we just make it a big oval. Oh, I need to see what the diameter of the part that I created for the bearing was before. Actually, no, I don't. Let's not refer to my past self. Let's refer to my future self and how screwed I'll be when this bearing doesn't fit. Let's figure out the width of the bearing. It's a shitty reason to fire you. Well, when you got people coming in and you're paying people, having a complete, it's 5mm, having a completely bunk test is really expensive. Why is this 7? Why did I just, that's the wrong bearing then? I think that's the drive shaft bearing. Let's double check. Where's the drive shaft? Hold on. Yeah, I don't know what they did. I think they got somebody from Germany to replace me. So it looked better on their corporate website. They're like, look at us, we have a foreigner doing engineering from the land of engineers, Germany. It's like, all right, you fuckers. I think our bearing's the wrong size. Wait a minute, that's the wrong bearing, that's why. We're looking at, I projected this bearing on, I should have projected this. They're different sizes. Let me get into Fusion again, hit escape, and go over to here, and then this is not the right thing. We need the other one. Sounds like a supervisor's fuck up. It's like jailing a child for jaywalking. Well, the supervisor was one of the owners of the company, so that's where it falls. They had other stuff on the list too for why they were letting me go, and it was stuff that was the first time I was doing a thing. So I don't know. That company it had problems. It was nice to walk into Chinatown every day to go to work, because I can just go, well, it's a little bit of a distance from here, so I'd definitely be snowed in right now if I was still working there, but I could get a train into the city and just walk straight over to that place. So it's pretty cool, and it's right near the Italian market, so I could just get a really good cheesesteak super easily. I didn't lose any weight doing all that walking. I didn't lose a single goddamn pound. That sucked. Another thing I would do is I would accidentally leave a fan on overnight, and you would think that I was killing puppies by the response that I got to that. I eventually got an outlet timer and put that on there, just so I never had to deal with it. This was before I knew anything about Tesmota devices, because I could have had a device where I could turn it on and off remotely. That would be really fun to get an email about the fan being on and being able to just be like, no, it's not. Go check and it's off. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the bearing, so I'm not actually looking in here. I'm looking way deep into the original. See, the only way that I figure I could keep these documents clean, and you can see I'm already failing, is by pulling on all the solids in one foul swoop. So I have the base model, boom, there it is. And I probably could have done that with this, but we're just gonna roll from where we are, because that's not too bad. Let's see here. What really helped me is going through all of the unemployment stuff and finding out what the rules were, what you're able to let somebody go for or not. We're an at-will state here, so it stands to reason that you might be SOL if they let you go. But if you're careful and you know what the rules are, like you need to fail at something that you were properly trained for. They need to give you a chance and tell you what's wrong. Those kinds of rules. And so I took a list of those rules and I just went one for one and wrote my letter to the unemployment office, not directly addressing the points in there, but they were all in that order. Each sentence was in that order about why they let me go. Make as little work for the government employee as possible. Where is that bearing? Bearing. I probably need to view the whole thing again and then just find it. Really? Is this the one that we were designing for? This is definitely the wrong size. Maybe that's why it was so confusing. We put in the wrong size bearing. Well, no time to correct it better than now. Although I am going to use the bearing as a position. We can make a smaller bearing out of that other bearing, and then I'll never get it wrong again. Because this one is definitely 5 on the outside. So let's see what we can do with that other bearing, and we can make the actual drive shaft bearing. And that's in. I hate to be doing this, but we got to get this stuff right. We're going to save this as. And then this one is going to be, I don't even know where I'd buy these bearings. These are just from the original model kit. They're decent enough. This is 5 by something by 2.5. 5 by, and what's the outer diameter of this thing? 5 by 2. 5, 2, 2.5. Save. And so now this cursed, I mean, it would be nice to find a better step file for this because this thing is utterly cursed when we have to go through and edit away all of the different dimensions. If I knew that I was using this as the base model, I probably should have put like a parameter in there and then I could just change the equation. I don't think we have any variables in here, do we? Huh. Oh, look at this. I didn't know this existed. If I made the bearing balls like scale with it, well, no, that's going to be really annoying. We'll just have to go piece for piece. So we are now 2 on that center, so 2, and then 2.5. For some reason, all these bearings feature a very small inner race wall. Where'd the bearing go? Cool, I lost the bearing. That's pretty badass. There it is. I don't even know, is this bearing even necessary? It's like the 3rd bearing on this thing. I guess it is for holding the, it takes side force for holding the gears in mesh. Okay, so this one's equidistant on the 2, and then it's got the wall there. So, did it roll away? It had nothing to stop it. Let's see, this would be 5, so we're gonna go 4.5, and this one's gonna be 5. That looks about right. That's all that really matters. The inner and outer race and the width are all I really care about. The rest is just cosmetic. That doesn't look right. Does that look right? Why are you in the way? How did that happen? How did that even happen? Hold on, let's look this way, and then we can do this. Yeah, I guess that looks right. Looks a little thin. All right, we'll leave it then. All right, get that out of there. And now we need to roll through the steps to make sure that everything went well. So that's actually 2.5. That's breaking everything. There's a reason that you design this stuff in a particular way. I think 1.2 is still going to fit. It's not going to cut that? No. Okay, so we can keep 1.2 there. Let's see, and then we do this one. I'm going to actually roll the history marker down to there. So we can just check it along the way. There we go. This was designed in a very strange way. Is that off by a little bit? I don't know. Jeez. The view, not changing the view angle, that's a sin. All right. Somebody else is home. I don't know what happened. One of my roommates come home, snow day. All right, I don't understand what that sketch is doing. And then there's the offset plane, which is -1. That needs to be -1.25 because we are 2.5 now. And then this step is splitting it in the middle, which is a very strange thing to do indeed. I don't know why they did this. You could have just extruded that around and it would have cut everything. Or you could do a toroid. That would save so many steps. Oh yeah, it does look like the one roommate's home. The hospital must have let him go. What are we doing here? What the heck? Well, it's an undefined solid, and it doesn't quite know what it's doing. 360-degree cut, and I think what we're doing is this, not this. Can't even get to that to click on. Well, how do I unclick this? pretty much just wants to cut that. I mean, they could have also selected the lower one too. No target body found. Yes, thank you. That line is a little weird. There we go. Okay. This is a weird thing to work out. And that chamfer is the fillet is unnecessary. And then this sketch is defining that one. So that one then cuts. That's fine. What's the warning? Revolve 3, warning. 3 solids selected. Oh, I see. Yeah, it like loses when you mess around with where things are placed. Fusion gets a little weird about like it kind of makes assumptions about what you want to do, and then those assumptions are not often correct. That is centered, right? Yeah, okay. Why am I looking at a warehouse? What is this place? What are we doing here? Something, something, and then mirror. That creates the body of the bearing. It's a weird, I don't know why they did it this way. You really could have just used a toroid for this. Join the bodies. What's the matter here? You did fine. You joined the bodies. Good work. Why is there a problem with that step? There's not. Okay, we're joining the next bodies. That joins that there. That's good. I think maybe the appearance got lost on one of them. What is this plane? 0.5 from that base. What are you doing here? What is this? Oh, it's going to make the balls, and it's too many balls. Let's take some balls out. There we go. That's enough balls. We're never going to see these balls. I don't know why I'm spending all this time on it. Twitch just simply will not allow me to show you my balls. So we're gonna deal with the fact. I mean, you know, gaze at them while you can, but they're going away. They're going away right here. Okay, and then this, it doesn't understand, but it's right there. Oh, it's getting to be too big for the bearing itself. I'm gonna keep that though. Bop and bop. Bada bingus. Okay, there's our bearing. Our 5 by 2 by 2.5. So what do I do here? I think what I'm gonna do is go into the WL Toys model, the one that I based everything on, and if I replace it in there, then it will locate it in the proper spot, because that's how Fusion works, right? The WL989 start printable, that was for, okay, so that's for the electronics printout and the frame that we have right now. But I want to radically change the frame. So WL generative we're working in right now, but what I want is, do I even have it open? No, I guess not. So I'm gonna, well, it says I have it open. Maybe it's because it's open in the other file as well. So there's this model. 2 components are out of date. Update. Now that might break one of the, oh no, that might break one of the parts. You are editing this design in another tab. You can only save changes in one tab at a time. Well, you know, if you'd show me the other tab, that would be fantastic. How do I get to all the tabs that I have open? A scroll wheel? No. Oh, there it is. So, was that there before? Yeah, I don't have the whole thing open. It's just because I have this open. It says that I'm editing it, but I'm not. All right, so let's finish that sketch then, and let's save that. I can't save it. It's not letting me save it until I update. What happened? Did I just soft lock myself? Has unsaved changes, discard your changes, and update. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know what's going to happen now. I guess I'm going to hit discard and update, and we'll deal with whatever happens, because like something soft locked. I don't want to lose all the changes that I just made. I think it'll only take us to, well, all right, let's try it. What happened? Okay, so nothing really significant. Actually, yes. Unless I think I unviewed those parts. Hopefully they're still in here. Hold on, let's see. Did all of that stuff that I did with the hubs not work? No, that's in here. Okay, I just moved it so that we'd be able to see the sketch. Okay. I got myself a little bit worried there for a minute. Why are these? Oh, because these are part of the original. I have to, it's like negotiating with the Fae. All right, close that. And that's the pin. That's a successful model, so we can actually close out on this one. Remember, when you have a successful model, always edit the appearance. Make it look cool. Since it's not metal, we're going to go with plastic, opaque. And, oh, these are just mine. So, fusion appearances, plastic, opaque, where is that? Matte gray. Actually, this is glossy. Glossy gray. Even if it's boring, you got to make it look right. Beautiful. Gloss gray should probably be the default appearance, to be honest. With the amount of 3D printing that I do with Fusion, having it be metal is inefficient. Close. Okay, so that one is done. We can save that and close it, and I'll have to test it tonight. We'll see if it fits on the washing machine. And then I'm opening up the extremely complicated start model. No, we're so far away from generative design, I almost shouldn't have put it in the frickin' title. We might not succeed generatively designing the body of this car because there's not a lot here for it to design. Wait, why did that? When I went into that sketch in order to make that plate, why is it in this model? This is supposed to be the start that I don't ever touch. What happened? Why did it do that? I put a sketch on one of the elements, but that shouldn't have affected the other design. I specifically sequestered the design away in order to save it from the other one. I guess maybe if I break the link here, I think that's maybe what I need to do. But like this is linked to everything else. It shouldn't be linked backwards. Maybe I need to go into the other drawing. It thinks I'm opening this and editing it, which is a problem. So the generative one, I'm going to break the link. I'm going to do it. I'm going to break that link. Which component is out of date? What are you doing here? What is out of date? No, but if I break this link, wait, what the hell? Oh God, I don't even know anymore. Fusion is just messing with me at this point. It's just like a funny haha joke. None of these have an update next to it. What the heck is going on? There should be a little exclamation point. If I break the link here, see, that's the edit in place for the file. I don't understand why if I brought this part into this file and I start editing it here, like the sketches in this timeline, why is it affecting the other model? It shouldn't affect the other one. It should only affect this one. That doesn't make any sense. That seems like something is a little wrong here. Convert to DM feature. What does that mean? Redefine sketch plane, edit sketch, blah, blah, blah. Configure? Oh no, that was that thing again that I don't know what the hell's going on. This is very confusing to me. Actually, wait, this sketch is, oh, okay, I get what happened. In order to look at that sketch, I had to get into that file. What I think should happen is happening. This is totally fine. We did this in order to get the measurements and edit that motor. I didn't remember that I did that. So what I need to do is unredo that. You heard me. Where are we? We are in, oh my God, this is so much. So motor mount, I need to view again. Where in the absolute freaking, where is it? Oh no, it's in the motor mount part. That's right. Okay, okay, I get what I did now. I confused myself is what I did. It's very easy to do, and I do it very often. Motor mount. Totally correctly spelled. I need to unview the sketch, and I need to go to the end of the timeline, because apparently I rolled back time on it, and I hit save. For some reason, save. I would like to actually check on that location. This is probably not correct, although I didn't use the motor to make this, so I guess it is correct from my measurements. So, all right, that's fine. That's done. Yeah, save this. Click OK. Okay, so this now, if I update it with external references, the part will pop back in. There we go. Now, what was I doing? What was I doing again? The tangents have overrun my ability to remember things. Oh, we were putting the correct bearing in here because that's actually going to affect the other one. You must understand. Let's see. So the actual part that we were editing just now is what we need. We need the motor mount, and we need to take that radius down. And so that radius is that even the correct, hold on, is that the correct bearing? Do we actually have, yeah, that is. Where is my other motor mount? Did we ever find that? Or did I think I just disassembled everything and I worked on it that way. But I think that is indeed the correct bearing. It's just very small. It's 5mm. Okay, so let's use that now and do this and take this down. It is 5. Huh, I guess I just had the wrong bearing in the thing. Weird. Okay, so now I can replace the proper bearing. I guess I need to do it on this wackadoodle timeline. Ah, jeez, just update the friggin' come on. If I double click the part, it should highlight it, and then I can roll back time to before it was placed. Actually, I should be doing the bearing and not. It's this here. Can I replace? Yeah, replace a component. Look at that. And then, wait. Yeah, that's clipping in. Okay. Replace the component. I would like you to use ball rod. RC car projects. It would be generic 522.5. Bonk. Yes, yes, yes. It doesn't know what face I want to locate it with. Where did it go? It's probably in the middle here. Where's my, oh, there it is. It's way over there. Hello, buddy. What are you doing over here? Let's do one of these. 90 degrees. And then we take a front face as our first point, and not the ball cover thing. We want that. And then we're going to place that right up against this. And it fits. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to finish that position step, and then we can go all the way to the end of the timeline, and then my baseline RC car is preserved. A lot of work went into this. A lot of work. And now I do not need to look at this anymore, because if I go into the file that we were working on, and I guess I could have used edit in place too, but that gets a little, too much stuff going on, and I think the CAD doesn't really like it that much. How's the print doing? I don't have it on camera. That's almost done. Sweet. 2 components are out of date. Dun dun dun. Update. Get the latest version of everything. There we go. All right, so now we have the correct bearing there, and I can actually design this thing once again. I can go into my sketch, and I can define a bunch of stuff. Question is if I want to use those dimensions or if I want to make it just a little bit wider. I think the bearing should probably press into place, so maybe I do want to just project the outer radius here into this thing, and then I don't need to look at it anymore. I don't need it to be here. I'm gonna unview the entire WL Toys kit, and then we need to make, like, I don't know, just like an oval around that. Hey, what's up, Haystack? How you doing? Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the generative part yet. If I create an ellipse from like way over here and I go to like here-ish, what is that distance? We'll make it 26, that, and then, oh, that's an ellipse. Wait a minute, that's the wrong thing entirely. I'll create a salute and we'll do center to center. And I'll click on this all the way over here, and we'll go all the way over to this other thing. And then I just need all this stuff to be covered nicely without hitting the bottom of the RC car. So that should be a pretty decent plate. And if I extrude a lot of stuff, I got to click a lot of stuff in order to get the proper extrusion here, just because this motor is kind of sloppy. This will create a plate that the motor will sit on and allow the generative design stuff to do its job. Now, I could have done this as a series of tubes and figured out what generative design would like create in that area, but I guess I'm kind of just like doing a plate. This motor's kind of sloppy. Yeah, they got all these weird slang terms these days. I don't think my 3D printer is going to be able to handle generative design. There's a nice little 2mm plastic plate, huh? Oh yeah, and I need an inner, I need a hole. That's right, I need something for that bearing to sit on. Go back to this. Let's see, the diameter is 2. Or is it 2.5? I think it was 2. Yeah, it's 2. So if I make it 3, that should be pretty good. And then I need to extrude all that stuff 1, and then, well, let's do, oh God, I gotta click on everything again. Damn it. Donk, 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 donk. Take all of this stuff. Take all of this stuff. And then go 2mm, actually 1mm. And I'll take the, oh wait, I actually, no, wrong way. Take that, go 2. Take this, go 1. Or 0.5, 0.5 will work. There we go. Unview the sketch. And that's our motor mount, very simple. Now I gotta click 1,000 things again to get everything back in. This is an incredible amount of work, and it's probably not going to pay off. If I'm honest, it's probably not going to pay off because the why is so much stuff out of view on this? Weird. Oh yeah, because I don't need that, and I don't need the housing either. Yeah, the problem I have with the generative stuff is that it's not going to look quite right. Why is that so far forward? Yeah, that position is based on the previous motor mount that I built. So do I need to honor that motor mount's dimensions? I probably should, huh? Let's get the body out of here. Let's do a measurement. So that would be this thing versus this thing. Distance is 1.6. So I'll go back to where I'm making this thing, and we'll go 1 point, or wait, that's going to be like 3.5. I think 3 is okay. And then the other one is this, and it's 1.6. and I can view it again if I need to. That would be the plate that's going to hold on to the motor and the drive shaft. That's kind of important, but the rest we're going to leave to generative design, I guess. Okay, so now I need attachments for all of the A-arms, and that's just going to be simply, well, I actually should probably make that as a separate assembly, shouldn't I? So I'm just going to get a distance between. What's going on here? Inspect, don't do that. Give me this plane, give me this plane. That would be 7 millimeter, so let's just do generic parts, and we'll make a new part and call it 7 millimeter spacer. And then we're going to do a sketch from here and circle. And that's going to be, oh no, the distance is 7. Hold on, what is our width? Diameter 4. Diameter 2. I'm going to put a bolt through the whole thing and put like a lock nut on the end. So it's going to be 2, and then it's out. And then 4. Finish, extrude, this, 7. Done. I'm going to keep it in gray, save that, and then we'll take that into this other drawing, and then we can move and copy it to our heart's content. 7 millimeter spacer, bring that in. Let's move it way over here. Now, I guess I could probably take the elements of this drawing and spin them out to be in like a more simple representation, and then it wouldn't be as cluttered, like we wouldn't have all these components that we need to worry about. So this one is going to go move copy. That's what I wanted. Open move, take this, and we go this way. I've never done this before, so I am actually learning. You guys are watching me learn. Oh, I left the sketch visible. Come back here, spacer. Bonk, save, okay. And the other drawing is gonna set off alarm bells. Wii U, everything's wrong. Oh my God, you've ruined it. Okay, so right click and hit update external references. And then we start just placing these things in here. This is busy work. This sucks. Let's see. Oh, because position came in, it completely truncated all of my menus. Why did you do that? What the heck? Oh, double click and right click and then go to move copy. I guess I can do that. So from here, we're creating a copy. We're going from this one to this one. I could actually use this post for a lot of different things. I don't think I can use it back here though. As a screw hole, a generic screw hole. Move copy, point to point. I probably should have just done the tutorial with you guys. instead of all of this. Probably should have just done the tutorial. Because then I would have actually done stuff instead of doing this to the end of the earth. Move copy. Create copy. Move it from this point to this point. Move and copy. Point to 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 point. Generic. Yeah, we stole that DVD from a friend's dad. Kept it in my pillow. Let's see. Move copy. So from here, we just got to do this for all of the A-arms. I still don't have a great idea of how I'm going to do the suspension on this. I'll probably be able to figure it out, but It's a problem that I would love to have. I want this cool, weirdo-looking spiderweb body. I could probably print out a couple of them because without a doubt, the first time I crash this thing, it's going to absolutely obliterate the body. Because whatever generative design is going to give me is probably not going to be all that strong. But I mean, if you look at the generatively designed like gas pedals and stuff, they're incredible. It looks like they've saved all this weight. Like if the driver just didn't have a ham sandwich, they would have saved enough weight to have that generative part, like not need the generative part. Sorry, I'm like doing two things at once here. But it looks like the whole thing looks like it's just going to crumble. It looks incredibly fragile. But of course, these are engineering nerds with 3D printers. They probably have all the exact right numbers in there. 3D metal printer would be kind of insane. Of course, they cost $30,000. That's just the printer. You don't get the sinterer or the parts washer. Apparently, the way they work is you have two filaments going into it, and one of them is a plastic binder, and the other is, I guess, or no, one is for support, I think. So one of them is metal that's been deposited into plastic, and so it'll print up the whole thing, and then you melt the plastic and pressure treat the part, and it shrinks by 30%, which is crazy. Yeah, how expensive is the maintenance? How much metal are you getting into your body by accident, too? Now, I think 7 millimeters is a little bit much for these, so we need another post for these. Yeah, I think we need a different post for those. Any other, like, screw things that need to be catered to? I mean, the servo would probably be one. Where'd the servo go? Most of the WL Toys car is in here just in spirit. It's just there to be a, like, placeholder. Yeah, the only other screw holes, I mean, we got screws here. This is sitting in a basket. These are attached over there, and those are the attachment points for it. 30K eBay listing? Oh, really? So 30K includes all that stuff. But that's eBay. If you're buying it original, I wonder... Actually, when you list something that expensive, do you do like a heavy discount? All right, we're going to need another spacer. So that last move and copy could have been an email. If I delete that, does it destroy the copies? Maybe I just need to delete the last copy just to be safe. And then I'll just move this one into position. Point to point. We're getting there. We're getting there. Soon there will be no additional tasks for me to perform. One of the things that I need to figure out is how I'm going to create the main object, the body that's going to bound all of the stuff. Because instead of giving it free form to do whatever it wants to design all the structures in this, I want to bound it into a box. Actually, what would it do if I let it just... Well, I have a feeling it would close stuff off. I kind of have a feeling it would close stuff off that I didn't want it to. We are burning away the afternoon, though. At least I am. I got to figure out how I want these components to mount. It should either be above or below, or maybe I leave it to support this, and then I do an opening in the front, and that way I'd be able to get the drive shaft in. Opening from the front. Well, then I'd have a weird block at the front of everything. I want to look at generative design and see what I can think about in terms of the openings. 75K on another listing, and new without requesting a quote might be around 100K for the whole system. Hot damn! How do people have these things? Oh, but you don't have to pay taxes on it because it's a business expense. Yeah, see this kind of stuff. That's a real car, though. That's not an RC car. Pix 3D printed car chassis from the Pix team, and a lot of pop-ups. Huh? I don't know what is going on with this article. The same way people own trailers and multiple cars. I suppose you could just not eat for like a year. Rubber band powered RC car. What? See, look at those structures. That's so cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that with this, but I'd like to try. How are they? So this is a rubber band power. It doesn't have a differential. This thing, the buggy has, yeah, it's not all-wheel drive, but it does have some kind of a structure back here. Bone car is ready. Man, that's cool. Are we going to be able to do anything like this? I don't. Probably not. But we can try. So, you know, my midlife crisis should be buying a sintered metal printer. One thing I'm worried about is being able to access the screws back there. We'll use the base plate as sort of something to extrude in order to make the boundary areas for the car. But I don't know if I want. Should I unboundary it? Maybe I should unboundary it and just see what it comes up with. That may be the thing to do. We still do need a way to get the housings in there. So I need to make something that comes off of this and creates a well, like an insert area. Same with the battery and the motor. I have to be able to get in. So what is that going to do? Let's see. Where do we even start? If I do have a thing that goes in from one side, that means I don't have to worry about supporting this, because if this is supported and I have a big chamber in front of it, then I can just pop it in. So I think that's the way that I want to go, because that way I'll be able to actually install the drive shaft. So we're also going to have a bounding thing that's going to surround this, I guess, with a little bit of stuff. If I extrude like this surface, I can create that. And then I got to tie it into everything else too. This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff to consider. And then there has to be some kind of a limiting thing around the suspension too. So I'll have to make like a big box that's just going to shoot through the side here and just be a keep out area. Got a keep out area. We're going to leave it to everything else and just see what it does. And then the two areas that'll allow me to install the drive shaft, or yeah, the drive shaft and the okay. So let's work on the little thing that's going to basically make a door. And I guess I'll lock everybody in position there, and then we'll start a sketch on. We'll do it on the plane, and I'll have to get the wheels out of here, or just maybe everything out and just leave. God, it looks weird. Okay, get everything out of here except for the differentials. So bop 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 bop. I'm only going to work on one of them. I'll mirror image the part in order to get a second one in there. I mean, I could set this up in a separate drawing and make it be its own thing, but I guess I'll just do it this way. Nobody's there. Okay, so create a sketch, and we're going to go on this plane. And I'll go over here. I basically make this facing backwards from the bearings out. Okay, so what's that going to look like? I guess what I'm going to need is, I could do a slot, but I don't. I don't need to cover the entire thing. I just need the top and the bottom of this bearing. So if I do a sketch line, I guess, and there's nothing there. Oh, because none of this is projected in. I see. What distance are we going? I don't know what distance we're going. Wait a minute. I need those A-arms, I guess, as a reference. Where is it? Should be highlighting the things even if they're not there, but I guess it doesn't. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So there's my frame of reference. The back of the model is somewhere around here, and it's arbitrary. I can set it wherever I want it to be. So let's take, I guess, the center point of that, not as a construction, and I take this to here, and now I need to come back from there. And I'll need to figure out what the size of the whole thing is in another sketch. Jeez, this is involved. This is getting very involved. Take that one down to there. And then I'll just do a 3-point box. Top to the bottom and out. And then that has to go out to wherever I'm going to put the plate. So, and it's pretty arbitrary. I just need to clear the housing. Well, let's make it an even 12. And so that is going to be the post that supports the bearing. All right. Is that all I need from the sketch? I think so, because the bottom plate, I'm going to need to design it from the other dimension. From beyond the other dimension. Unless I project this in, and then I can make something that goes from the top to the bottom. Oh, wow, that's actually harder to... Give me this line. Like that. Okay, so I take it as the entire differential housing size, and the thickness would be 3, but I'm going out to this line. How am I doing that? I gotta figure out the answers to all these questions and more when you're as confused as I am. That should be a construction line. Oops. Do it symmetrically, I suppose. Oh, and because I changed it like that, it doesn't stick. 3-point. Actually, no, just a regular rectangle will do here. This is going to get a little sloppy. Is that dotted? Did that not change? Why are we thinking? Why are we thinking? It is dotted. Okay, well, geez. Starting to see ghosts. All right, we'll go all the way down to here. Then I can just do a 3-point in order to make the floor of the plate. And that'll just simply be like a screw-in kind of thing. And so I'll have to make, oops. I'll have to make a like a plastic screw hole and then like a barrel over where the screw goes, so we can define that as the thing that it needs to, you know, hold force. I don't know how much force we need to assign to these things. It is certainly going to be a long generative design session because of the complexity of what I'm putting together. 12 might be a little too far, but we'll edit that in a second. Rectangle, we'll do a 3-pointer. This is, I'm getting way in over my head here. 2 millimeters should do. And then 10, 8. We'll try 8. That gives it a little clearance there. Finish. All right, now it's time to get real confused. To get real, come on, let's go zoom. Sometimes Fusion thinks it's looking at something a million miles away, and when you go to zoom, it just doesn't listen. Why is, hold on, what's happening here? I've lost my, okay, there we go. I like lost all my controls. Yeah, it thinks it's looking at something that's like a billion miles away. Okay, so I'm going to extrude 2 posts for this and then tie them together with the plate. So this goes from start object there, distance. I could do distance, or I could do to the other end of the bearing. Let's do distance here. What were those again? I forget what the width of those were. Ah, bodies. There we go. I need to view bodies in order for it to be... Wait, what the heck? Oh, that was the wrong radius there, the wrong solid. Okay, so I'll have to select. Go back to the selected. Why are you fighting me? Oh, because it goes into the... Okay, so I need to get that out of there. Boop. I need to be able to select... Wait a minute, what's going on here? I didn't project anything from the bearing in. Or I did, and it's a construction line. Hold on, cancel this. Cancel this, back into the drawing. Dive back in. Ah! Okay, where are we? In the infinite void of space. Oh, there it is. Let's just hit home. There we go. Jeez. The view thing gets a little crazy. There. Now I have the appropriate stuff. So I can extrude this and this, and I can take it from an object over here, and then I can take it... Oh, geez. It loves to yell at you when you... when it thinks it's you're violating a design principle. Let's take it like 2.5. That'll do. And then I'll take it. I could mirror image it, but I'll just do the same thing again. Start object and 2.5. There is our posts. Do I need to free the whole thing, including those pieces? This was done in halves, so it was like the whole... Well, the bearing ends could fit in because it was done in halves. But if I have clearance on the outset of those, if I make like a chamber that the generative design has to keep out of, then I think I'm okay with just doing from bearing to bearing. I'll just have to make sure that there's clearance so that I can get that part in. So let's start at object. Yeah, I'll do this as minimally as possible. There will just be screw holes at the top and the bottom. We'll have to figure out what size the screws are too, but so distance will be to object, and I'll just do that. That's a minimal plate. It's gonna ruin the look of everything, but I could do it underneath and then it wouldn't look bad, but this is the only way that I get it to not I get it as minimal as possible so that the drive shaft can be inserted into everything. I'm gonna be fancy. Fancy, fancy. What up, Niano? How you doing? Fancy boy, fancy, fancy. There we go. This is as boring as it gets. It really is very boring. And then I guess I need to figure out what my screws are. What screws am I going to use? Because I now need a sketch on this. Although I'm kind of damning myself by doing... Yeah, let's not... Hold on. There, we'll do those later. Great sketch. Because these need to be measured from the corners or whatever. 4 screws, 4 screws, 4 screws, and then I can use, I guess, just my tiny little ones. We'll see how big this ends up being. Oh, there's my flashlight. I was looking for that. It was sitting right there. Hey, I took the dog out last night, and I was like, I can't see anything. Actually, I could see because of the snow was reflecting any light, like to the nth degree. Everything was super visible. I could actually pull a part in, which is a model of one of the screws, but I think if we've got a 2mm thing, I wish there was a CAD that was truly free and which I didn't almost hate. You always have to deal with the shortcomings of it, unfortunately. That's just the way she goes. Yeah, these are 2 millimeter diameter, and then the head is 4 is probably a safe bet. So let's see what 4x4 looks like on this. It's enormous. It's absolutely enormous. I don't think that's going to work out, because there needs to be something in there for it to grip. So I probably need it to be either taller or wider. Or I get more creative with it. If I keep out of the keep out area, I could have just a small amount of grippy thingy. So if I move that in like that, we'll have to see what that looks like, I guess. There's also a circle in the middle, it's 2. I wish I could extrude from here. Let's just try it out. Yeah, like if I do like the, how long are these things? I'm designing myself into a corner here, is probably almost 8. Is it FreeCAD? 6.6 minus 0.8. So I guess it's 6 millimeter ish. And here we're at negative 6.5. So we're actually at that length, and it's not colliding over here, although it will on if I do a symmetrical one over here. Although if I push it into this area right here, it'll be pretty good. So maybe we'll do that. So I'll do, yeah, that's basically got to be very close to the bearing, probably right about there. Well, let's try it over here. If it fits over here, it'll fit in the other side. Wait, it actually let me click and drag. That was kind of cool. I didn't know I could do that. I could get away with that. That's actually centered, and I've got my 6 millimeters. But if I build a plastic structure around that, it's not really going to work out. I think that's not a good thing. I think that maybe that's not the answer. Going wider could work. Going taller will work. So we'll go taller. So I'll go back to this other sketch, and instead of basing it on, hello? Hello? There we go. Jeez. The views are all messed up now because I've been working with this thing for too long. So let's get rid of this. And let's get rid of this. Let's give this a distance. And we'll make that 20. Well, that might be too tall. 18. Oh, good. It went in the wrong direction. It's because this is completely unanchored now. So we'll just do a center to center here. Let's see. Constraints, midpoint to midpoint. There we go. Cool. Yeah, now I've got room for everything. So how little room can I possibly give? Want it to be like a little bit of plastic on the outside. Oh, that's completely unobstructed. We'll make them even numbers in just a second. So this is actually going to need, no, the other part is going to need plastic in these locations. So yeah, this is fine. Okay, cancel that. And then let's go back to the sketch and let's figure out what good distances are for, where am I? There we are. Where have you put me? I shall not be contained in such a manner. 2.5, 2.5. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. All right. And then we're going to do more boxes. Always more boxes. I could use symmetry, but Do that. 2.5. Oops. Orange lines in sketches means that they're not bound. I really wish these sketch tools were available for circuit board design. That would really be nice if we could use like construction lines and stuff like that. it would help kind of tie the whole program together, and it would make doing the electronics design so much more easy. Because with the electronics design, you need to do like, you need to be a machinist, basically. And it turns into like, oh, what coordinates is this thing at? Whereas when you do it with these, it just kind of works. You can put all of your thought process into the drawing. 2x4, tuber, 2x4. Southern roommate of mine back in the day used to call 2x4s tubers. Call pens a peen, which is really weird. Okay, there's that, and then 2, 4. It's a lot of prep work for something like this to make sure that it has all the information that it needs so that we can then look at it and go, ugh, and then just not do this. But I thought it would be kind of an interesting couple of streams to sort of muddle our way through. Oh, we didn't lock that on. Muddle our way through preparing and creating a generative design in Fusion. I thought it would just be neat. And I'm learning too. Maybe one day we'll do something else with generative design. Doot, 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 and doot. We're going negative 1. Which is a little deep, but doot, 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 and doot. Negative, well, 3 I guess is enough to punch through. All right. Now I need a screw tube. So new part, save as screw tube. They're kind of an odd thing to call something. And then sketch on the base plate, and then we're going to do, that'll be, well, if I do it the same exact dimensions, I might regret that. 1.8. And then what kind of forces is this thing going to be holding back? How much do I need to surround that screw? Well, I don't have any room right there. That's for one. I wonder what the distance differential is right there. Or if I just move them in by a little bit. So maybe that needs to be like 4. Yeah, let's move them in from the edges. We'll go back to here, and I'm gonna go over to all my available working space. So much room. That's the wrong one. Finish the sketch. We're in here. Where am I? Okay, here we are. Wow, I'm back in the wrong sketch. This one. Hello? There we are. What time do we have? Yeah, it's getting close. Let's make these 3. That'll hopefully give me clearance for the post. No, I did not want to. I was not finished. No. Go back here. Oh my God. Home. There we go. Okay. 3. 3. 3. What kind of clearance do I have now? I've got about 4 millimeters. Oh, not quite. Hold on. I actually do want those to completely clear that. So maybe if I project this in, that'll give me an idea of where that is. Yeah, so it needs to be way in. 4.5? That gets a little close, because there's actually going to be a physical post in the model. I didn't really think of that, did I? We'll figure out where these are going to be located, I guess, once I get the part that the screw's going to grip. We're not going to go as deep as 6. It can just be like a little tiny piece. So this screw tube is going to be 1.8, and then we're going to give it not 2. 4 is probably pretty. That is a big tube you got there. That's not big enough. I think it needs to be a little bit exaggerated. we'll give it 4. It's going to be the size of the cap head of the screw. And then I'll do a length of probably 4. That's a lot for it to grip. That's a lot for a screw to grip onto. Oh God, orthographic view. Oh no, that was regular. This is my perspective failed. That's a mighty fine screw tube you've got there, sir. All right, so just to complicate things, we'll finish that sketch and that'll help inform us of where these things are. Screw tube right there, bonk, get that in, bring it back to where we're working, tilt it, click OK. All right, so, oh, the sketch is still visible. Bonk, save, OK. I guess this project is just the attrition that will teach me how to work quickly in Fusion 360. ScrewTubers, we're gonna start a faction of YouTube talents who have a screw loose, and we're gonna call it ScrewTube. Create a copy, and then we're going to any of these. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? I'm going to have to move it closer. Move copy, and we're going to take this one. You know, when it gets down to it, we probably should do the tutorial on generative design so that we know what the hell we're doing. And that would make for a better video for me, because this is out of hand. I did not know that this is... Wait, what just happened? Oh, wrong surface. Move and copy. Create a copy from here. And we want this surface. I want this surface. There we go. Yeah, see, like that one's okay. It's the other one. And they're separate bodies, right? Oh yeah, because they're components, right. Okay. Move copy. Move and copy. Making the second one of these is going to be kind of tough because I think it might not be able to mirror image everything. Bonk, bonk. Move and copy. Probably should be doing this in separate drawings, huh? What am I looking for? I'm starting to lose my mind, is what's going on. I am becoming the screw tuber. No, that was the wrong thing. I am selecting specifically this radius. There you go. Okay, so yeah, that's colliding. When worlds collide! I'll do anything. Okay, I need to move that out a little bit, and there's precious little room, and I need to move it a lot. So I need to make this plate taller. This is getting kind of weird. It's getting kind of out of hand and weird, but maybe we can get that to work. Okay, well, where's the original WL Toys base plate? Oh. Yeah, so we're in the floor, aren't we? We only have a little bit to go to be at the base of the model. Can you export the whole car as a step? I don't know. I think it's a different file. I think you need a slightly different file than that. It's like a solid, like a solid assembly or a solid part. It's like one of those files that carries a bunch of files with it. Yeah, we can go a little bit taller without violating my design philosophy. It's a little bit brutal to have just this front plate like this. I mean, the way that WL did it is they had a two-piece assembly in this area, and that's what sort of held everything together. And we can always dress it up to look nice. I don't have any smaller screws, though. I could also put the cap heads on the outside, and that would free us up to move this into this area. Maybe that's what we need to do. The cap heads should just stick out. That's probably the better way to do it. So that means getting rid of this extrusion step here. Yeah, the first one that I did. And we'll just use those radii as a marker. But we still need the distance around the screw, don't we? Maybe that wasn't as clever as I thought it was. Because the cap head is defining what's holding it in place. Now, while I could change that outer radius, I want those to actually hold. Yeah, I can, if you remind me when I'm around, I'll gladly share it. I'll have to export it. It's probably enormous at this point. I could have the screw holder part stick up above the plate, actually. So yeah, hold on, let me think about this. I think I can do, go back to the sketch and have it be 2.5 and then move this up to like 1. Oh, I don't want it to cut into the side there, but I can, that's sort of the idea, is I can move that. Why did that not move to the proper position? It's not like that radius changed. Maybe because there's a little cut in it, it didn't associate. Yeah, I can go a little further down, but, well, actually, can it? Hold on. Oh, maybe because I didn't lock in any of the positions. That's probably why. Oh, come on. The rotatey thing is very annoying. But if I click to this and then back, it'll locate it properly. Yeah, there's still space for it, so I can actually go down by like a little bit. That'll work out actually. So I don't know where this is located, but let me just go back into the sketch here and go down just a little bit and over to the side. What? Is this the right sketch? What is this one? Okay, yeah, this is the right sketch. So let's move. That one was 1, so let's go 2. That's a full millimeter down, and I don't think that works out. Yeah, see, that's hitting the line that we pulled in earlier. So 1.8, and then that'll clearance. And then this one can go down to like 2. There, 2 and 1.8. 1.8 and then 2. And the screws will just overlap a little bit. That's kind of sloppy. I have no choice. All right, finish that, and then I can get my posts in position. Move. God, this is a lot to deal with. I feel like we've made very little progress today, but I guess we're in much better shape. Much better shape than where we started. Can't believe it's second stream and I haven't gotten to anything generative yet. It's pretty easy when you have everything set up though, because you literally just tell it like, avoid this, do that, and it's like, all right, I'll figure it out. I have not. There's a tutorial. There are tutorials for the generative stuff, and I watched a YouTube video on one. The tutorial is included in Fusion, so I could probably try that out. I wonder, do you have to pay for the tutorial? That's a little weird. Because if you're buying cloud credits in order to do all of these operations, then you have to pay for the tutorial. That's annoying. All right, let's round these edges just so they look good. Fill it. Just so they look good. Although a chamfer would probably look pretty good on those. We're gonna fill it. The other stuff is round. We'll keep the roundness. That's pretty good. There's gonna be a screw over top of it anyway. So yeah, the reason that I did this way is that we will tell generative we will tell Fusion to retain this and retain this, and then we will tell it to avoid a shape similar to this. We're going to have to make another shape on top of it because this is the thing that's going to fit in, but that doesn't relate to, well, it does relate to, but it's the thing that we need to tell it to keep out of this entire area. So I need to make another object that is the base plate here, and the shwoopty-hoops that are going to define where the bearings are. And then the bearings we're going to define as a load-bearing area that has to take a certain amount of force on, I don't know, we're going to be telling it to keep out of this. So that's a little weird. That might not be something that it wants to do. It might not like that at all. That's interesting. If I have the bearing on the other side, then it's going to pop out. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to have a little bit of material on the outside of the bearing, don't I? Unless this side has something that retains it. If we make a shape that holds the other side of the bearing, then we can tell it to preserve that other shape. So we need to do that. I need to make the outside of this piece. And that'll hold the bearing in place, and this part can be exposed. It's very strange design going on here. So let's go back to that sketch, all the way back here. Cool, I can't see anything. Let's unview that. You can collapse. I will allow you to collapse. And now I need to do another 3-part box. So rectangle, 3-point from here to here and out this way. And it doesn't actually need to be larger than the bearing. It just needs to give a little bit of meat to hold on to things. So probably out there is good. Oh, I didn't even look at the distance. I should do it based on numbers. I can't see. Okay, from there to there, out. Let's do 7 millimeter, I guess. That's pretty meaty. That's pretty meaty. And then I'll just use, well, I probably shouldn't do that. Hold on. Let me unview the bearing so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. Back to this view. And then I need something to hold on to the bearing. So that means an offset maybe of this. No, that's not going to work. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. -1. Let me see if the diff still fits. With the -1, is that inside of the, go back to, I need orthographic, yeah, that is going to hold on to it. Okay, so finish sketch. And so now I'm going to take that sketch right there, and I'm going to extrude. Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and capture the position. So I want this and this. Well, actually, first I just want this, this, and this. Nope. I want to go from, oh boy, I want to go from object to object, but I don't know if I have, let's see if I can do object as the bearing here. And then I want to go to the other side of it, here. Extrusion profile falls out of the boundary of selected body. Select a face or plane instead. Huh? That's confusing. Probably has to do with the object that I selected here. Yeah, it does. Oh, that's cool. That's very helpful, Fusion. Thank you. I can definitely get to the surface that I wanted to click on. Why does it hate me for this? I want to go from there to there. That's not that. Probably because this is the chamfered edge. Very helpful. Very helpful. Thank you. I definitely can get to what I wanted to click on. I guess if I start here, that'll do it. Basing it on the wrong thing. It should be based on the bearing, but surely this will never fail. It'll be fine. Now, what did that make a new object? I might have messed that one up. New body. Okay, that's a totally new body. And then I can take this and this. Hello? The differential's in the way. Get the diff out of the way. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. Okay, wait, extrude, doot, and then this down here. And I want that from this object. And like 1 millimeter. And that'll capture the bearing. So that'll be inside of the opening. Oh boy, that thing gets really sharp, doesn't it? That doesn't need to be this sharp. It just needs to capture the differential in place. Maybe I'll chamfer that down when I print it. Because like if this is holding onto the bearing, that should be okay. That gets a little sharp up here too. Because I didn't give it anything on top. Maybe I can bust them out a little bit. This one I can't because I have distance issues. But this one maybe I can do an extrusion on the top and the bottom. Do like 1. Oops, 1. Okay, now if my center plane is in the right spot, I guess I could probably take this. Okay, take this. Okay. God damn it. Really? Is this attached? Wait, did that attach? That attached. When did it attach? From the very beginning? No. Oh yeah, see there it joined in. Right there. So when I did the 1 millimeter, so take this, but remove that and then go from there. So extrude. Actually, I don't need to do it that way. I can pull back my, oh, never mind. I undid my, I didn't work with the timeline properly. Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. I'm good. So take that back there until the body appears. And then in order to control this, I unview the thing that I don't want to join to. That ended up being a larger number body. It still did it. Wait a minute. You jerk. So I edit this step and then I unview. No. Why is that so weird? Okay, then this. Wait, did it already join? All right, so from here, I need to go into the step where it accidentally joined and unview the body that it joined to. And then finally this one, where it does the same thing again. Viewing and unviewing objects helps you kind of control stuff. So yeah, this is one of them. We need another one. I think I'm going to actually do a mirror command on this. So create mirror, choose the body. The mirror plane is going to be that plane, and that should be in the right spot, but we'll bring this back in just to see. It is. Okay, so yeah, basically those are what are going to tell Fusion that we need to preserve these shapes, right? These shapes that we're looking at right now, except for the differential, are things that we have to have, including all of these spacers. So like, so far, that's the design. and then I need to tell it to keep out of the area forward of these screws and where the differential is going to mount. Oh my God. Okay, so that, I mean, that's what we got for now. I'm kind of like, my brain has been scrambled by this stuff. This has been not a long stream, but it hopefully was informative to some of you out there about preparing a generative design model, because we didn't get very far. It really feels like we haven't gotten very far, but we are set up pretty well. I mean, just a little bit more work and things that maybe I can do in the background will set this up and make it all purty. So I'm probably going to work on it tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll work on it on stream. Boy, this is going to be a tough print, huh? And this thing is so small, who knows what the design is actually going to look like. There's a lot of areas that I want to keep out of. So yeah, I'm going to work on this a little bit more on my own, and hopefully we will get to, I'll stop just short of working with the generative stuff. Because basically generative stuff comes from the design, this tab over here, and then we'd go to generative design, and it would flip us into a different mode, and you'd create a study, right? Fluid path, that seems neat. But yeah, structural component is what we would generate in this. And then we'll get into it. I mean, I'll do this with you guys when the time comes. But this is just, there's been a lot. This has been a lot. This has been a lot to deal with. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. I'm going to do the end card and stuff, if you guys are cool with that. Why am I asking you? I don't know. I'm the streamer. I get to decide. But we'll keep this one short, because, I mean, these ones where I'm tootling around with Cat are just not, they're not as exciting as they probably should be. They look nice, but it's like, this is the kind of thing that I want in like a time lapse. And easy. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Dude. I'm the one with the delay. I can get that stuff faster than you guys can. There's all my social stuff. Oh my God. You have to write it down with a notepad or look in the thing below the VOD if this is republished to my playlist, which they will be when I'm done uploading 270 videos. I have a lot of work to do. At least I'll have the minutes on all those videos where I'll be able to find the stuff that happens in 5 hours of streaming. Of course, this one is particularly short, but I'll be back on Monday. I will be back on Monday. I'm going to be in the Discord just tootling around and fixing all of these drawings that are, fixing this CAD file that's getting way too complicated. But yeah, after that, I don't know, we'll figure it out. There's plenty of projects to do. I need to do a little bit of music stuff, but I also need to do Burn the Subs. We've been leaving it for too long. It is starting to get very dusty, and there's a smell from it, and we need to figure that out. All right, anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Yeah, there's Gonad is, Flatulent Gonad is going to start probably a half hour to an hour after I stop streaming. So keep him in mind. Go check out his channel. And I am going to be out of here. See you guys Monday. My brain is leaking out of my ears. Oh, I gotta save the file. File, save. Whew, that would have been a situation.